Dang, I'm back with my agenda. Never follow rules, I want my funeral magenta. Just to piss off all my fucking homophobic relatives. Growing more imperative that I control my narratives. So I spit fire through this pop filter. La la, you got to have the Zaza for me to shop with you. Raising my rates and I'll control fates. But if you fuck with me, I bring your fucking life to a stop quicker. I'm in your throat like some hot liquor. Roll through your hood like a drop shipper. Hands like a stock filter. I think if I was straight, then maybe I would pop quicker. Playing the lotto, I'm on the reposado. Can't be in my vicinity if you possessing maybes. Or fragile masculinity like Boosie tip a baby. It's crazy cause the very clothes you wearing was designed by the same group of people used to trying to keep behind. You ain't worried about the kids, you just use them as a shield to hide behind the bigotry of how you really feel. Ain't no think pieces and emails as long as it's some females that's kissing in the backseat. And you can check my rap sheet. I'm running circles around these washed up rappers like a track meet. Been flexing like an athlete. I'm jigging to the backbeat. Work selling in the trap meet. And my niggas pack heat. So just to keep it cool before they bust and make your hat leak. And I ain't even really scratched the surface. Defeat the self-doubt, don't defeat the purpose. Make sure you got it or you won't complete the purchase. A man without a plan is like a clown without a circus. That's Dames, he go crazy on the mics and shit. Rolling blunts super straight on the pipes and shit. Fat ass with the fucking tiger stripes and shit. I get faded, grab my pen and then I write some shit about this crazy world we living in. My homies steady giving in, the doors steady kicking in. I never care about fitting in. No whipping the E-class, that motherfucker speed fast. I caught me a peach pass and reach for my weed stash. All sports teams, but I'm ballin', nigga. Better have a money move if you callin', nigga. It's my time to shine and you know I'm stallin', nigga. Dames going up, make that shit appallin', nigga. And I ain't even really in my prime yet. But I just been grinding like the time said. Mindset, I'm the fucking money, not a bitch though. I can tell you broke, but I ain't never been a snitch though. Came up on cassettes and CDs on the block. I don't smoke no cigarettes, but the trees stay in stock. It's the DAM to the IEN. And if I stand out, nigga, why be in? It's motherfuck the cops and motherfuck the ops. My niggas got good credit, we talking trades and stocks. I'ma always keep it real, that's what I get from my pops. They'll give me a fucking bullet before they give me my props. I got this war in my mind, I don't know who winning. All this Patron in my body and my head keeps spinning. Yo, how I'ma get to heaven? I mean, if I keep sinning, I swear life would drive you crazy, man. Just keep living. I ain't even really scratched the surface. Defeat the self-doubt, don't defeat the purpose. Make sure you got it or you won't complete the purchase. A man without a plan is like a clown without a circus. Dames, and I ain't even really scratched the surface. No, defeat the self-doubt, don't defeat the purpose. Make sure you got it or you won't complete the purchase. A man without a plan is just a clown without a circus. Dames. Hip-hop. This rap shit is just in me.
I took a hit for the team, took a bullet for the dream that we would one day all be free from prejudice, free from sexism, free from bigotry. I die for creativity, I die for freedom to be free. I died and left a legacy. Oh, but baby, I still live through technology. The sun will start shining. What is the pain? As is the pain. As is the pain. And just be patient. Your destiny will manifest. Yes, for the
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Hello, 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 and welcome. Okay, on this Monday evening, okay, to yet my job that I'm doing is to just listen to what people are saying on the internet, girl, testing it, listening to it, critiquing it, and then solidifying it and etching it in YouTube history, in internet history. Okay? If we've done our research, we've seen that oppressed groups of people have always utilized the media as a way to showcase what is going on in their lives, in their communities, right? And people still choose to ignore what they see and what they believe what they want to believe. Hell, they probably feel the same way about us. That's why these conversations are important for real. And unlike a lot of other people, I'm still going, okay? I'm still going to keep my foot on the neck of queer phobia. Because we're supposed to be having conversations, right? These conversations are so important, especially since this is also affecting our children as well. Well, where are we at? And we ain't forget. We ain't forget. I haven't forgotten. I made a promise in reference to this YouTube channel, because now I'm actively flowing in what I know is meant for me, and something that I've even been afraid to acknowledge and to delve deep into because of what the possible outcomes could be. But the way that the world is today, we need more people to stand up and speak their truth. Not an opinion, but the truth. And one thing I'm going to do, and will continue to do, is to again document the covert, fear-based, ignorant queerphobia within the Black community. Okay? And like I said in my last live, y'all can sit up here and dress it up as nicely as you want. You can put the whole Sunday's best fit on it. An ace is an ace and a spade is a spade, right? So I'm just trying to do my part to keep these conversations going. Not when, something big happens in the media and now I'm going to jump on this and then share the opinions that everybody else ignorantly thinks. And then when the people who are living the experience come through to give context and nuance, y'all don't really care because it's really for a click and a view. We're going to continue to call it out. 760 some subscribers and all. Don't fucking matter. But before we get into that, okay? Before we get into that, I finally have to pull it up. Boom, a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, let me go ahead and put the fair use banner up. Now, I kind of did like some sort. What's up, Deshaun? If you're still here, this is from last night, but I don't know if you're still in the building. But I did a review kind of on this. It wasn't a review like I normally do, where I sit down and we go through the entire live together to hear from their mouths, so that nobody can sit up here and say that BubzDaGawd is putting words in people's mouths or taking a narrative and spinning it. It's like, no, I'm literally responding to what you're saying. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was on this platform by the name of Black Men Unfiltered. Shout out to them. And they were talking about what is the gay agenda. And again, I was prepared for the smoke. I know the commentary that they give over there, especially in the barbershop segment of the the show or the channel, I know is very, very aggressive, very anti-queer, and they feel safe saying that amongst themselves, but yet the men who are powerful and stoic and can do the right thing and actually get things accomplished without being emotionally involved, when it came time to actually sit down and have the conversation with the smoke included, because that's what a lot of these niggas love to give, fake smoke, okay? All of a sudden there was more of a kumbaya moment to where it was like, oh, well, you know, we all have to come together, and, you know, we're all being affected and we need to listen to each other. Well, girl, but when the time comes for y'all to listen, because as queer people, as a queer person, I understand what the heterosexual perspective is. This is not anything new. None of y'all has said anything that was revolutionary, that was fruitful in life-bringing or life-giving. Nothing of the sort. It's the same exact rhetoric. So we've heard from y'all. Now it's time for y'all to hear from us. I don't understand what the problem is. We're the minority, right? So it should be very quick for y'all to listen to us. But we're being told to suppress who we are so that y'all can feel comfortable. And in the black community, because of racism, because of the ghost of the slave plantation mindset that is still on us, that has not been rectified, especially after this whole crack epidemic shit hit the black community like a fucking scythe and really fucked up black households and black families. Y'all, it's a lot. I swear I could talk about this all day because there's so much. That's why I want to have these conversations. That's why I'm the one that continuously does the lives, to hold y'all feet to the fire. Because what y'all not finna do is sit up here and use queer people as a punching bag or firing range whenever something pops up in the media, whenever Lil Nas X decides he wants to kiss his boyfriend or whoever the hell he fucking on, or if Billy Porter decides that she wants to wear a bob with a beard and a motherfucking halter top with a damn skirt on. So we're gonna really call it out, okay? So again, Black Men Unfiltered had the Gay Agenda show there. It was little pressure. I was ready for the pressure, girl. I was there for the pressure. Like, I want the real truth. Like, all this politically correct. Oh no, fuck all that. Come on, bring what y'all want to bring. Bring the truth. Bring the truth. And if you can't, put somebody on the platform who will bring the truth. But they didn't. Okay, and no shade, there was a segment where there was the gay versus the ex-gay situation going on, and a part of me wanted to say something. A part of me wanted to tell both of them, like, y'all literally giving them what they want, because they're going to always use those examples of queer people coming in and being argumentative and stuff like that to say, oh, you can't have conversations with these people. That's why I had to check myself and say, first of all, those other queer people are responsible for themselves. Me, I'm responsible for myself. So at the end of the day, y'all cannot sit up here and say that y'all cannot have conversations with queer people because you have met BubzDaGawd. Y'all thought that BubzDaGawd was just gonna come through like a rare anomaly and just be on the platform and then that's it. No. I'm still going to hold y'all feet to the fire, bruh. Especially if y'all are a black community, a network of black people, and we're trying to find the gray area of understanding. And I know that there are people over there who may be fearful to do that, because even when you have men on those platforms who do reach out, who do cross over the bridge to go visit the other side of town that they've heard so badly about and was invited by a person who came on their side of the town to have the conversation, there were only two people. The first one, I forgot his name again. He reminds me of Fred Hammond. Down and down to Billy, the darling our dark land, found my heart. Okay? And the other one was, of course, Dr. Nakumbe. None of the other men decided to come over to have the conversation or to further the conversation, because again, it's just an opportunity for them to be able to project whatever insecurities or feelings or jealousies or grievances that they have towards queer people, and then just dump it on us. Just like how a lot of men dump shit on black women and then get mad when black women dump shit on them. Like, why you dumping shit on me? Because you dump shit on me. Well, two wrongs don't make a right. Well, first of all, the fact that you're saying two wrongs, are you going to acknowledge your wrong and that you started this shit? And secondly, yes, two wrongs don't make a right, but a negative times a negative is what? All right, okay then. So anyway, afterwards, they had a live that they did that was hosted by MANDRELL and his beautiful sister, Shishi. I hope I said that right, because I be fucking that name up sometimes. But I commend both of them. It's kind of like whenever there's difficult conversations, it's kind of like there's a few people that they push to the forefront, like, y'all talk about it. Y'all talk about it. Because however this happens, if it ends up being problematic, or you can't blame us, we can blame them. But they did the best that they could. So this time I wanted to sit through the entire live. Now this is going to be a lengthy live. Y'all already know how BubzDaGawd give it up. Y'all already know. Okay? So we're going to be here for a while. Listen to this while you're doing something else in the background, because I really want to speak to your subconscious mind. Because that is where all the fear lies. It's in the subconscious mind. So while we're going to go through this live, I'm going to be playing, again, Far Cry 5. I finished all of my duties that I needed to do today. And I'm trying to relax a lot more. And I mean relax my mind as well. But I'm always thinking. So here I am multitasking, all right? So let me go ahead and change the music. But before I do, what's up, Queen Donna V? If you still here, what's going on? Hope all is well. What's up, Queen Spicy? Hope all is well. What's up, boy Crazy? Please make sure if y'all can share the live. Please share the live. All right, because we're gonna keep these conversations going. And if they're annoyed by it, goddamn it. I mean, hell, queer people have been annoyed and it's still annoyed, and we still alive. At this point, we're gonna be all annoyed together. Again, it's equality across the board. Whatever energy y'all on, we gonna be on. You can't be mad when motherfuckers start acting like mirrors and be reflecting y'all bullshit. Okay? But let's get into what is the gay agenda. And to explain that, we're gonna listen to it from the straight perspective. Okay? Let's get it. Matter of fact, let me change this song real quick. I need to put on something that's soothing, girl. Because, baby, we're going to talk about this shit and hear the ignorance. I think I'll play... I'll play this one. No, because I don't want them to mess up my damn song. I'll just play this one. From The Sims. Alright, without further ado. Black Men Unfiltered Network. What is the gay agenda from a straight perspective? Let's get it.
I can't hear you. You're muted. I can't hear you, and neither can anyone else. You're muted. You're sitting there jaw jacking.
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Am I muted now?
Not anymore. You're too loud.
Okay, thank you.
Do something about that mic volume.
Like I was saying, welcome everyone to another episode of Unapologetic with MANDRELL.
This is why people see you're not
I am
submissive.
your lovely host, Shoo. And
Shoo,
you know,
shoo.
this is my help,
Sorry.
MANDRELL.
Yo, help. Excuse me, ma'am.
Needs the help.
You saw what happened on the pier, right?
And what you mean? We both
Riverfront
both
Park.
neighbors. What you want to do? What you want to do?
I'm trying to tell you, people think it's sweet in Alabama, don't they?
Listen.
No, the George Floyd stuff and the political shit. R.I.P. to those young brothers, but that ain't happening here.
Yeah.
This weekend, people. That's why we don't have those problems here. That's why we don't have those problems.
I should have skipped to the
Yeah.
part, but
Just saying. That's why we don't have them
We're gonna let
problems.
it rock.
I mean, we just being real. It was a special, unique situation, but it was an example to our people how we do need to come together more. We do need to stick together more. So, you know,
yeah,
that,
ain't nobody coming.
Definitely is a moment that will go down in history.
And it's a shame that black people will unite when it comes down to violence. I get it, because, girl, we upset, we pissed off, we mad, we irritated. I get it. But where is the energy for that in other conversations like the one about the gay agenda? I'm curious to know about that.
Yeah. if you're an outsider coming with that racist nonsense, that's fine. We gonna help you out with that.
Oh Lord.
We gonna help you out. Hey, you know some of the people from Tulane Court?
I'm not surprised.
I found out. Yeah.
Tulane Court here is it's a hood neighborhood. Okay?
No, it ain't.
It's
Tell the people the truth.
very urban.
It's Section 8 housing and foreclosure. The projects. They get active out there, people. They get active.
Yeah. So people who have a reputation for being from Tulane Court, you know, they have a reputation. You know not to mess with them. They have a chip on their shoulder. So yeah. With that being said, welcome everybody. We want to give a special shout out to the chats. Thank you everybody for rolling through. Let's see who got in the building. Corey Hager. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you as always for coming through. Vaughn Bryant, what's going on? Peace, joy.
That's the guy who looks like Fred Hammond. Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn.
Coming through, Black Man Unfiltered. Thank you for allowing us to, have this show on your platform. We appreciate it. Who else we got to hear? Oh, the world class. What's going on, Noble? Hashtag Team Noble.
Well, you're not hashtag that guy.
We got Anissa.
You're not team that guy.
How are you, girl? Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. Your love and support. Who was got Butters the God? The God, honey. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Bud. Everybody be calling me Butts. I am a top. I am a boy, Damon.
Let's see.
I'm a boy, Damon.
Jedi Mike, what's going on, Fred? How you doing? Go Mom. He said, "Right."
And I'd like to say this for everyone who enjoyed the Battle of the Riverfront. Okay, that's what we call them down here, the Battle of the Riverfront. Yeah, that's actually a thing. Because I got out about town today.
The Alabama Tea Party.
Some people are, but they're like, the Battle of the Riverfront.
People back in the water.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He said all hands on deck and foot and fists and elbows and knees all on deck. You better know.
And chairs. People keep asking, where did he get the chair? White people ask me, where did he get the chair? I'm like, he got it off the boat.
Black man says a national holiday now. Bama Brawl in 2024.
Yeah, he's gonna go down the history books as the battle at the riverfront.
Okay. And shout out to Ojor Kalfani. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm messing your name.
No, he's African. He understands. He gets it all the time.
Thank you for coming through. Sugar Bomb, what's going on, girl? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Mr. Bennett, how are you? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much. And Yusuf Benjamin, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Hope you guys will be up on the panel later. And the Scam Likely Show. What's going on, Scam?
You ain't getting us. You ain't getting us.
Let me see. Who else we got? I think that's all this in the chat for right now. Thank you guys so much for being here, and all who are watching from the clouds. Thank you guys for being here also. So I'm just getting straight to it. You saw the thumbnail.
We got another new person, Harold Cordero.
Shout out to Harold.
What's going on, Harold? Thank you for coming through. He said it's his first time over here. Well, thank you for coming over.
I brought him over there.
Yeah.
Don't trust them niggas over there.
You guys take something away from this conversation. First and foremost, let me add a disclaimer. This conversation isn't to offend anyone, and it's just to kind of give an open perspective.
But wouldn't the open perspective mean hearing the queer people side? Because again, queer people have heard for years their own narrative be controlled by people who are not queer. Again, I watch the platform when y'all speak about queer stuff, and I mean the way that people speak about queer people on the platform is kind of like, how is that a open perspective? How is that even an open perspective? Is it an open perspective, or is it more so of a safe perspective? I feel like I can say this or whatever without being judged. Because what's happening now is that queer people are now standing their ground and holding y'all accountable and really holding y'all feet to the fire, and y'all don't like it because there is a feeling of supremacy that is there. Even when we hear later on in the live, when they bring up some of the scientific reasons for that, which completely backfired on them, where it was like, oh, well, y'all did hear her say that heterosexuality, you know, is the supreme. It is the main one. And just like how a pimp has his hoes, he has a main hoe, but she ain't the only hoe. Okay? The other experiences are there for a reason as well. And queer people are not here for your entertainment only, just like how black people are not here for your entertainment the fuck only. Okay? So I get it. They want to set the ground, and towards the end they dropped the link. I ain't go up there. I said, no, this is y'all night. This is y'all night, because I wondered how the conversation would be, because people were saying, oh, we need to talk about this. We need to have these conversations. They're so important. And then the next night, y'all literally have a show trying to further the conversation, but it's just to like low-key lick y'all wounds or to reiterate what y'all feel about queer people, even though y'all didn't do that on the panel the night prior. Again, this is going to be a lengthy live. Make sure you guys use something to smoke on. Okay? Something to sip on. Okay? Because there has to be some sort of altered state that we're going to have to be in. First of all, to not even be triggered by what's being said, but to really think outside the box. To really, truly be objective. Okay? Let's continue.
And hopefully offer a solution to what's going on. And like, you know, because it is a very sensitive topic. People have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings towards when you talk about the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get
look at the history of what's
right
happened
into
to
it.
queer people.
Mandrell was a little bit
black
hesitant
queer people.
about this topic. And he asked me, was I sure that I want to talk about?
And yeah, no shade. Shout out to Mandrell, but of course Mandrell is nervous about it because he went on another person's platform to stand in as an ally for queer people in action and failed in application to that. I mean, it was like, girl, like, come on, girl, Jesus, for real, like, we gonna do this? That it was that cringy. To where it was like, girl, if you are the ally, what the hell does the enemy look like? Shit. Maybe the enemy of my enemy is my friend, bitch, because if this is what an ally doing, girl, goddamn.
But I was like, yeah, I am sure I want to talk about it because the thing is, it's three major things that I keep hearing, like when I hear conversations about the LGBT community, and it particularly really kicked off when the whole Just Hilarious and the, you know, who owns womanhood and like women don't own periods and stuff like that the trans woman said. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So
and like I said before, even with that panel that they had cisgendered biological women, bio women on the actual platform, bio females. Again, the video was taken out of context because if you were to look at the original video in its entirety and actively listen, the trans woman said that women, as far as the social construct of women and the feminine aspect of it, does not own periods. There are trans men who are biologically female, but they show up in the social construct of man, okay, in which they are able to have periods, and the same thing for intersex people. So she was speaking about the spectrum of what female is, and even in its unorthodox and what you believe to be expressions of it. Like, there are studs who are lesbians, straight up studsmen, girls, studs of the studs, bitch. Don't even do that gay shit. Feel like two studs is some gay shit. They ain't with that shit. Okay? Who also understand and accept the feminine in their life in reference to what comes or what happens with females, in reference to periods and the shedding of the uterus and all these other things. But of course, people hear one thing and completely run with it, and you see how that just explodes to where now all of a sudden biological women feel like they're under attack, even though when we look at the history of trans women, it be bio women, it be gay men, it be a whole bunch of people who, if a trans woman is talking to a guy or something, they will go out their way to tell that dude that they were talking to, oh, you know that's a man, right? You know that's a man, right? And then when you have trans women who literally tell y'all about their experience, about how there are trans attracted men out here, that there are men out here that's trying to get a nut and will get a nut regardless if it's female or male, then y'all think they get, it's just like, but then when we start having conversations that, again, alleviate the fears and bring things into perspective objectively, then all of a sudden, instead of people saying, you know what, I was ignorant on this, I didn't know what I was talking about, I stand corrected, I am not beyond reproach, you're absolutely right, what can I do to better it? It's that simple. But of course, egos are are flaring, so nobody wants to do that. And I'm sick and tired of having these same conversations where we just come and we just, where are the people who trying to really understand? Like, find them. Find them. The people on the platforms and the networks that really want to get down to the nitty gritty, that really want to motherfucking know for real, that were saying, at this point, we up here on this public platform, so I need you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Where are those individuals at? Because we keep attracting people who are very weak-minded and ignorant when it comes to queerness, and when they're in the wrong objectively, they go around and say, oh, that's my opinion. Okay, girl, well, we gonna drag your opinion.
One of the topics, like I said, it was three main topics I really want to touch on. First things first, I want to talk about is homosexuality unnatural, because I think a lot of times, first thing I hear when people actually start trying to have a conversation with people from the LGBT community on panels and stuff like that, is the first thing, at some point they throw spirituality in it, like God doesn't like it, or even, take spirituality out of it. Oh, it's a crime against nature. Well, I have a video from a scientist who's actually breaking down, studies that they've done, because in the scientific community, they've done study after study after study and research after research on, number one, is homosexuality natural? And, how does one become homosexual or even heterosexual? And so, admin, if you would cue up the video, in this particular video, that's what you're going to see. We have a scientist actually explaining and breaking down a little bit of homosexuality and is it natural? So,
yeah. Shout out to Andre Terry.
What's going on, Andre? How you doing?
Roll the video.
Yeah. Bear with us for a second. So sometimes,
Girl, the wait is finna
yeah, sometimes it's a
backfire.
delay,
It's like,
but I love it.
oh my Lord.
Battle of the Riverfront.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Somebody's gender role or sexual orientation simply by looking at some of the components. evolution would naturally favor heterosexuality because that's how you get babies. And so if we're thinking about genes trying to produce genes, it would make no sense to have genes that would lead to people who don't reproduce, because those genes would not be reproduced. That said, we know cross-culturally gay people exist. So we know that that's a natural variation in the population. And so then scientists ask the really interesting question, why is that there? Why does that not disappear over time? Because at least in theory, that should lead to lower reproductive fitness, which means it should lead to fewer babies. And so it should fade out, evolutionarily speaking. One possibility is that it's a side effect, that human variation is good for the species, and so evolution is responding to the situation not by reducing necessarily everything that doesn't work, but saying, let's keep throwing up variation, and some of it will work in some environments and some of it will work in other environments. Being a varied species makes a species more resilient.
Correct.
So it may be the case that being gay, if you're born that way, is just a variation on a theme, and it will show up every now and then just because variations show up. But some scientists find some evidence that there may actually be advantages to a family of having a certain percentage of the children be gay. And this is work done for...
Now this is where it kind of fucked them up in the comment section, because before then it was like, yep, we told y'all we are the natural, we are the main ones, and girl, y'all, and all this other type of stuff. Then they start saying natural variations, and all of a sudden they was like, hold on, bitch, wait a minute, natural variations, girl, I don't know about that. And then now you gonna hit us and say that, because again, these are scientists who have done study after study, right? They have educated themselves, correct? They know more than the common layman, right, when it comes down to sexuality. They've even said that there are some scientists who agree that having queer people in the family benefits the family. Oh shit. Oh shit. So what happens now to that gay son or daughter that you just kicked out? What happens to the trans daughter or son that you kicked out? But then once again, I mean, when you look at it, a lot of heterosexual people, queerphobic people, don't mind the queer shit unless it benefits them. So I guess in a sense, you know, but it's just interesting because it's like they were trying to use that argument as a way to like shut down queer people. Like, see, we have scientific facts and we found the missing piece that y'all keep overlooking. Meanwhile, it just backfired in y'all face. And the way that the comments switched up, it was like, wow. And see, I does this shit. I'm not perfect, girl, but I paid attention in school, in high school, girl, and some college. When it comes down to public speaking, when it comes down to evaluating stuff, girl, I puts in the work. Check my archive. Yeah, it's not a lot of people that watch it because we live in a very fast-paced country where everybody has a short attention span. But for the individuals who really want to be educated and really want to know for sure, they're going to put the work in, and we see who wants to put the work in and who does not. What's up, Queen Stevie? Style by Stevie, what's going on? Hope all is well. Let's continue.
Example by Paul Vasey at the University of Lethbridge. And he's been looking at the population in Samoa as well as other places. But Samoa has a cultural system that actually recognizes that a certain percentage of the boys are going to grow up to be androphilic. They're going to be interested in men sexually. Wow. And they actually have a whole cultural system for it. They have a third gender category called the fa'afafine. And when a boy, it becomes evident, is that kind of boy, the child is raised as a girl and becomes a woman, culturally speaking, but doesn't change her body at all, but partners with men.
Wow.
So in our culture, that would be called transgenderism, but in this culture, it's a third gender category that absorbs what in our culture might just turn out to be gay men.
Wow.
And what Paul has found is that when he looks at the families that have fa'afafine within them, the fa'afafine are not using up a lot of resources because they're not themselves having children. These are big family cultures. But they do take their own earnings and they direct it at their nieces and nephews. And that means you have more adults producing more resources for a smaller number of children. So biologically, there may be an advantage for families to have a certain number of gay children because those people will not reproduce, but they will take care of the nieces and nephews. And so overall, the population, the genetics of the family will be continued on because that family has a genetic advantage. And, when you think about it, we have this sort of stereotype of the gay uncle who takes care of the nieces and nephews in terms of providing for them and providing extra resources. And they're not spending it on their own kids. They're spending it on their sisters and brothers' children. That might be a possible evolutionary explanation for why it is that we see homosexuality persist in the human system. It's also the case, we know from work done by Ray Blanchard in Canada, that a certain number of men who will grow up to be gay get that way not through genetics per se, but they get that way in the womb. So it's inborn but not genetic. And what happens is apparently,
I'm sorry, I'm playing this game.
Well, we know statistically from huge studies now, if a mother has lots of pregnancies of males, every successive male will be a little bit more likely to be gay. So the farther down you go in that sibling chain, the more likely it is that the later born males will be gay. So this has been studied in many populations in the world, large numbers, and it's rigorous. We know that this is true. So why would that be? Well, it looks like it's a kind of side effect. The mother's immune system appears to be reacting to male hormones and maybe dampening them down a little bit. And this results in something called the fraternal birth order effect, which is that later born males are more likely to be gay. It's a surprising finding because it suggests to us that some men are absolutely born gay, but not because of genetics. They're born gay because of the birth order, in terms of some sort of effect having on a woman's system, which is reacting to her children's system, and it only occurs in males. It doesn't occur in females. And that's part of the reason why the theory is it's an immune response, because it doesn't occur with females. It only occurs with males born out of the same womb. So that's something I've colloquially called womb gay, but it's called the fraternal birth order effect.
Not womb gay, girl.
The fraternal birth order effect. Okay, so you guys, I know that was a mouthful, but like I said, understand this. Scientists haven't just started studying homosexuality and how it occurs. After many studies, actually, you got some scientists that just chuck it up to it's a spectrum. It's
to be perfectly clear, people, scientists are not saying that gender is a spectrum. They're saying sexuality is a spectrum.
Right.
Gender is very binary, male or female,
right.
Unless it's in the case of a
hermaphrodite,
rare mutation.
But again, regardless if it's male or female, there are different variations of the expression of the energy that is encased in whether it's a male or female body. So the spectrum of the expression is limitless. It's limitless. Again, there are trans women that know that they're born biologically male. They understand that. But they don't have to follow the social construct. They are not obligated to focus or to follow the social construct of what you believe it is, because first of all, that's your life. You can do whatever the hell you want to do in your life, but you ain't finna tell me what I need to do in my life when you haven't lived it. And again, these scientists who've been doing all these research and big studies and long studies and credible studies and stuff understand that these are natural variations of it. And at the same time, heterosexuality is just a mystery as queerness is. I know in this society we like to put things in boxes because it helps us to feel better about ourselves. But when you're truly objective, you think outside of the box so you can see it for what it actually is. And what's wrong with just honoring a trans woman and their pronouns and how they want to be identified? Y'all would give respect to a goddamn dog before y'all give respect to trans women. Well, I'm gonna call you what your mama and daddy called me. First of all, nigga, you don't even know my mommy and daddy. And then second of all, if that's the case, I'm not calling this nigga Mook Mook. I'm not calling this nigga Ray Ray. I'm not calling this nigga Pookie. I'm not calling this nigga Lil So-and-so whoop-de-whoop. What is your government name? That's what I'm calling you.
Which is a hermaphrodite when they're born with both genitals, both reproductive organs, you know what I'm saying? But that's in extremely rare cases. Now, these scientists are saying you're simply born that way. No one's made that way or turned. They're not vampires.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's interesting though. the birth order. The birth order thing is what got my attention.
Right. Yeah.
It might be a. She's saying that they're not sure yet with these findings, but they're just like, okay, it might be an immune response.
Right. Well, yeah, they're not sure exactly what depends on what causes it, but they are sure they have enough evidence to know that it occurs, that it happens. It's not like a once or twice thing that it does occur, and they're not sure exactly what causes it in the womb.
Yeah, they're guessing right now that this might be an immune response on the behalf of the female. Right. If she gives birth to so many children, male children,
right? Yeah.
The more male children she has, the more likely one of them's gonna end up being gay.
Right. Right.
Okay. I mean, it might be who's to say? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think this isn't like, like one this is like only one study, and like that they've done, like one particular the birth order effect itself, but
it's not one study. There's a lot of studies that's been
it's other studies that have been done about homosexuality and what makes one gay, so to speak. So it whether people want to believe it or not, there are all kind of like, for one, the one that scientists just explained that could cause, bring someone to be homosexual. They're also like, upbringing, sexual assault, molestation can bring about, homosexuality in people. It's all kind of things like Jed.
But the issue is that y'all will believe that more so as the cause, like something evil, sick, twisted, deviant, decadent, something that is just so like Satan's vomit, girl, manifested through queerness. Like gay people are literally the manifestation of Satan's fart or something to manifest in the world. But you literally have, and that's why I said when you're truly objective, you will accept everything and then test and see which one works. What is true? Because scientists, their job is to simply observe and record data. I'm looking and I'm recording what I see. I'm looking and I'm recording what I see. And also with science, things change because things grow and evolve. Again, these individuals who are scientists in the example you used, that y'all put in y'all repertoire that I already debunked the night before, because again, I do my research. I does this shit. Okay? Said again that these are natural variations, and y'all do, it's that and that and that. Girl, we stuttering all of a sudden now, girl. Y'all turn it into me. Y'all turn it into Andrew Caldwell, girl. But there's other studies that, sexual abuse and all this other type of stuff. Not every queer person has been SA'd. Not every queer person has had those things happen to them. And if we're going to play this game about studies, what about the studies and the stories of people who were assaulted by the same sex and grew up to be attracted to the opposite sex still? Is everything fucking negative as opposed to the totality of everything that hell? There are some people in the world who are queer naturally. I'm going to try to find some old Snapchat videos I took when I was going through some old VHSs like years ago about how feminine I was growing up. I had my mother and my father in my life, never been SA'd, girl. There's no locked memory in the recesses of my mind that needs to be unlocked. None of the sort. I have very good memory of my childhood. Again, grew up in heterosexual household, heterosexual representation around me, movies, shows, Disney classics, my mother and father. That's where I get some of the corny shit from. Dressing like each other, I gotta match your mom. Whatever your mom got, I gotta match her. That whole type of, and they've been together for almost 40 years, so the love is real. So I've seen what a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship looks like through the ups and the downs. I haven't manifested it in my own life yet, but I know what the blueprint of that thing looks like. And yet, I was still attracted to the same sex. So where did the gay shit come from? That's the problem. Y'all want to put this broad generalization on queer people and then get upset when queer people try to correct y'all about their experiences. And again, if y'all want to play the opinion game, y'all are going to gag at how well other people also play the opinion game. They ain't got to use guns. They ain't got to use violence in their fist. They can simply use their words to slice up your damn spirit and soul. Who have true discernment when it comes to shit. Okay? Oh, this is going to be a long one. And in the words of William McCray, William McScary, William McWig, William McFag, girl. Oh, they don't like this kind of teaching. Oh, God. First of all.
Yeah, but that one
I'm
though.
gonna get that sound bite.
The abuse
First
one.
of all.
That one, I think that's
all.
for the most part. If it happens when they're in childhood, right? I think that confuses kids more so than anything else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because there are some kids that happens to that aren't actually gay.
Right.
So I would think that there are people out there who are actually born gay. It was not their choice. They had nothing to do with it. They didn't choose to be attracted, because that's what makes you gay. Is the attraction to the same sex, the same gender.
Right.
You're sexually attracted to the same gender. So, but there are some people who are not attracted to the same gender, but do have gay sex. And it's because of trauma that they experienced as children, and now they're all confused. Like, is this wrong? Is it not wrong? I don't know. You know what I mean? So some kids, because remember we had Conscious TV and Reckless Logic on,
Right.
I think one of them said that in cases where kids are abused, if that kid was gay or gonna be gay, the trauma from the abuse triggers it sooner than it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the people who are very hypersexual, because it unlocks something in them and they're learning this stuff at a very early age. So they become very hypersexual. See, is y'all ready to actually put in the work to figure this shit out? Or to strengthen the foundation of understanding so that we can figure this shit out? That's the question I'm asking right now.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then there's other people who choose to participate in gay sex just because they're experimenting or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but there are people who actually like flat out born gay. You know what I'm saying? You like what you like, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so that's why I don't hold anything against.
And one thing too is like, you know, a lot of people say, it's because I've heard it said like it's a crime against nature, meaning that it's not natural, it's not natural occurring.
Oh, yeah,
well,
you know,
here's the thing.
All head niggas love
even
saying
in the
that.
beginning of the video, she says, you know, evolution naturally favors heterosexuality because of reproduction.
We know that,
right?
Of course.
But ever so often it does like throw up, different variables. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, if it were so bad, if it were so horrible, then evolution would have phased it out. But it hasn't. Homosexuality has been here for centuries. It's still here, and it ain't going nowhere. So
I'm glad y'all know.
You know, that
I'm glad y'all know.
I mean, whether you want to accept it or not, it is what it is. But the bottom line is, you know,
regardless of what your Bible said,
like even in other cultures and stuff like that, we know that.
Regardless of what your deacon said, regardless of what Reverend what's her name said, regardless of what fake ass TV evangelist selling holy water at 5 o'clock in the morning said, regardless of what goddamn Kim Burrell giving Chantel and Amber Lynn a run for their goddamn money at Golden Corral says, doesn't matter. Queer people have been here and will be here, and there's nothing that y'all can do about it. A wise mystic once said, y'all can sit here and move to Africa and do what Uganda is trying to do right now, girl. Okay, where is these airplanes? Because you ain't finna bomb me, bitch. I'm playing Far Cry 5, y'all. I'm trying to get this airplane because it's trying to get me. But you can build a Wakanda shield around Africa, girl, and destroy every fucking strand, story, bitch, anything that says that queer people was here, all that shit, and then build a vibranium Wakanda shield around that motherfucker, girl. Queer life will still be manifested. You know why? Because queer people are part of the human experience. Be glad that there are queer people in the world so that you ain't gotta be queer. So that you ain't got to hug in the hut. So that you ain't got to do the shit. Somebody gotta do it. Be thankful that it ain't you. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, a lot of these men better be glad that there are gay men in the world. Because baby, if these gay men were not gay and they were heterosexual, a lot of y'all would really be mad because your pussy surplus would definitely go down. Let's not forget, it's niggas that's 30-something years old that's taking him fucking chew pills and shit because they dick getting limp at 30, nigga. What's the problem? Ain't that shit supposed to happen at 50? 60? Y'all not ready. But neither was queer people with the bullshit. But guess what? We survived. Now it's y'all turn. Don't take it personal, baby. It's called an ego death. Everybody going through it. Be grateful there are people who went and survived and are on the other side to help bring your ass across the night water.
Like for instance, in the Samoan culture, they have a whole group, a separate group with that of people they call the Fa'afafine. That's what she referred to it as.
Yeah.
And where they know a certain percentage of the population is going to be born that way. And so they have a whole, a separate gender for them. And they know that once they see those traits, they go ahead and, embrace that and help them with that. So, yeah, that's.
Check this out.
But yet over here in America, girl, let Lil Leroy come into the room and say, mama, daddy, grandma, granddad, uncle, pastor, preacher, reverend. I think I might be gay. I think I have same-sex attraction and feelings. Instead of that culture that you just brought up, who are educated, who understand context and nuance, who also want to make sure that these individuals who are human beings also can experience the best quality of life. And when they experience the best quality of life, by default, they're going to give the best quality because they're experiencing it. That's already set in stone. That's already put in place for them. But God forbid, Lil Randall says that he's gay. It's a different experience. It's a different conversation that's being had. There is no conversation of, oh, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take you to this person who understands it and we're going to educate ourselves. No, ain't none of that. It's straight up deliverance service. I'm Andrew Caldwell. I don't like men's no more. I said I like women's.
Sherwin Thomas asked us, so
yes, honey, yes.
Y'all saying God made a mistake?
Shout out to
no
liars.
No.
Listen to the video. The video, the scientist in the video told you, sometimes nature makes a species more resilient by throwing in different variants and variety.
Not the game
within
making
species,
humanity stronger,
right?
girl.
Because
not
the more
fads
variety
making
of
the
species has,
community stronger, girl.
The more resilient it is. And all we're trying to sit here and ask and wonder is it that members of the LGBTQ community, are they the variants? You know what I'm saying? Or that makes us more resilient? You know what I'm saying? They might be.
Bitch, I might.
It might be one of those curveballs nature threw at humanity and okay, man and woman, that's been going on long enough. I'm bored now. How about this?
No, it's
you
not.
know what I'm saying?
It's not being bored because y'all are not fading out. Did you not hear the woman say that y'all will always be fade? Girl, y'all are the supreme, okay? I'm gonna be a queer person that's going to admit it, girl. Heterosexuality is the supreme, girl. Y'all are the supreme. There is no other supreme. There ain't no new supreme. Ain't no supreme taco. Ain't no supreme nothing. Fajitas. There's nothing, girl. Y'all will always be supreme, but you're not the only ones. And on top of that, queer people still have the necessary components and oh, that's a big ass motherfucking bison. Shit. Hold on. I thought it was a bear, bitch. It's a bison. And none of my people helping me. Girl, what the hell going on? Hold on, I'm getting shot at. Oh, there y'all is. Bitch. Hold on. This game is good, Far Cry 5. I suggest y'all play it. This shit kind of scary. Because it's like low-key a Christian cult that takes over a county, girl, and be murdering people. You got to save the people, girl. Is this foreshadowing in America? Especially with this gay agenda shit that these people talking about? That is not the fuck there. I forgot my point. Let me listen again. You said what?
And evolution would have, what she also said is, if they were so wrong, the evolution would have phased them out by now.
Right. And it has.
Oh, yeah. Queer people still have the necessary parts to bring life into the world. Lesbians still have a uterus and a womb, and then when y'all see queer people bringing in life, when y'all see trans men getting pregnant and bringing life into the world, that's a freak, that's an abomination. But it's a variant of nature. You ain't got to do it. Like, if a trans man gives birth, does bio women, are their wombs automatically snatched? Are there fibroids that automatically develop, girl, because a trans person out there living a life? Does Auntie Flo come in as if though God has opened up the floodgates of heaven, girl, have parted the Red Sea, girl? And does the cramps become even more stronger and more intense because a trans woman? Like, I need to understand, where is all this vitriol coming from? And I know it's queerphobia, and I'm going to tell y'all a quick story real quick. And then we're going to get back into the live. Because, again, this is going to be a lengthy live. We're going to be here for a few hours. So get comfortable. But I had a YouTuber, y'all know who he is if y'all been following me, who came and visited me about a few weeks ago. I took him to downtown Detroit, okay, to do some sightseeing and stuff like that. This individual already has a heavy southern drawl when he talks, and there is flamboyancy you can tell in his voice and in his mannerisms. We went out and he had wore a hat that said Pride on it. Girl, I'm a very naturally observant person, okay, and that was probably amplified because of me being bullied, so I'm very aware of my surroundings, and I'm just always in security mode. This just naturally, it just feels good to me to be able to be in control of my own shit. And you should have seen how many people was looking at us when we were just simply minding our business. We were simply walking, having conversations with each other, talking as we're walking, and people looking back and laughing and having shit to say, girl, and we're not doing anything but simply existing. I didn't bust this nigga down in front of the Fox Theater. I didn't get this nigga a blowjob in front of the Tiger Stadium. I didn't motherfucking eat booty like groceries at Hockey Town. I didn't sit here and perform a money shot all over this nigga face, girl, at Belle Isle and shit. It wasn't that. We were simply just minding our business. But because people knew that we were gay, or they had suspected that we were gay, girl, look at the stares, all the covert shit. We even walked past a street preacher, and I was like, girl, why she say something, bitch? Why she say something? And we walked behind him, but he turned around and caught us as we were walking past and said, well, you know, if you're a sodomite, you're going to hell. I'm just like, but queer people don't know what they're talking about. Queer people are simply embellishing what's happening to them. That's another reason why I love weed, girl, because if I didn't have weed, girl, I probably would be in straight up motherfucking cussing bitches out, girl, what you want to do type energy. Because again, the shit becomes dangerous. And let's not act like black people as a whole are very opening and welcoming to queer people.
reason. So it's like, it's still here. So it has to be here for a reason or a purpose.
Hello.
So is it a crime against nature? No, because nature keeps recreating it.
Hello.
So it's here for a reason.
Come on.
Thank you. They keep being born.
I don't worship nature.
Right.
I worship God, and God said.
I mean, I don't think
and
nature
God
thinks
said-
it's wrong. Nature keeps making them.
Right. Exactly. So with that said, the second thing I know I keep hearing, as far as like there being, a gay agenda, I think what really brought this topic back up is because of the whole, what is a woman, like that documentary, and the whole thing where the trans woman, spewed out that rant about, biological women don't own periods and
but they do though. They do.
And womanhood.
They do though. They do.
Yeah.
Biological women own periods. They own womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
It is theirs. So when it comes to that topic,
but then how is it being taken away? Like literally, how are trans people's existence literally taking away the existence of biological women? How? And again, trans women like T.S. Madison, very public figure, okay? Hypervisibility. Hope Giselle, another black trans woman, hypervisibility, have both come out and stated that they understand and that they agree with biological women when they say that that trans women will never have periods. They understand that. They accept that. That's fine, because that is a function of females. We understand that. They understand that. But the issue is that y'all don't even acknowledge when trans women are also supporting what y'all saying in reference to that, but still calling y'all out on y'all transphobia, because it seems like when those things come up, it seems like the comment sections are just flooded with the shit. Y'all have so much to say. But when it's time to actually sit down and talk about it and be educated, don't nobody want to do all that. Now all of a sudden it's my opinion. Females own periods. Female. A trans man understands they are biologically female, but they show up again in the social construct, and what they feel and express is a man to them, and they can still get pregnant. I'm still very much ignorant on the trans experience, especially trans men. But I know a lot more than the people on the platform, because I actually talk to trans people. I actually have people in my life who are trans. One, unfortunately, is no longer here with us because her life was snuffed out, unfortunately, by an ignorant ass individual who was expressing transphobia, and it costed her her life. And I also have an individual in my life who's like a sister to me, who I did a live with by the name of Kiki. Go on my archives on my YouTube channel, you will see it. An actual conversation with someone of trans experience, and the stories that they shared and how they're still here and had self-deletion ideations a lot in their life. That's what I'm saying. Like, is y'all ready to like talk, or is this just a hot show? Is this like any way to kind of add up to getting the super chats and getting the AdSense checks from YouTube? Like, is that what this is? Or are we really trying to mend the bridges, okay, and really destroy the roadblocks that are preventing intersections of understanding within blackness? Like, what are we doing? Are we really trying to help the black community? Are we really trying to understand our fellow brother and our sister, and even those in between, girl, who are non-binary? Or are we just having these conversations to vent how we feel and then leave it at that? Because even the things that we say, whether we're conscious or not, has an effect. So if we're going to have these conversations, girl, let's have the real conversations. But y'all not ready, but that's okay. I will sit up here off a damn edible, girl, while I'm playing Far Cry 5 and multitask and listen to what y'all saying and have the damn conversation.
I think the transgender community is gonna have to find something else to own.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to find something else
trans
to own.
Women own
that
trans women own trans
right.
women.
Well, let me say this, and let me be clear. I understand everyone in the trans community doesn't feel that way.
That's fine.
You know, this is specifically for that particular trans woman who spewed those comments. And you know, you do have some other trans women that feel that way.
Then call them out.
The bottom line is this:
call them out. And you know what would have been really wise? You know what would have really been dope is if you would have brought on the trans women who agree with you on the platform. That would have been dope. So that there could be some solidarity being shown. You have individuals like T.S. Madison, like Hope Giselle. I'm pretty sure you can get them. They're, especially T.S. Madison. She is cool. She don't act like she Hollywood. Damn, I'm trying to shoot this damn Jaguar. And it's off this damn drug called the Bliss. It's extra strong, girl. I'm trying not to die. Let me pause so I can think and not get fucked up. Y'all could have had them on the platform. Hell, there are people over and other content creators sectors, girl, like intersex. I have my sister Kiki, who's a trans woman. Like, you can have trans people on the platform to like have the conversation. I feel like that would have been really dope, because then you can really deal with it. But see, of course, that wasn't the case. It was basically a bashing set to let the 1% know that, girl, y'all will never be us. Y'all can never sit with us. Y'all can sit with us, but y'all will never be that girl. And that's okay. Because trans women trying to be themselves. They're not trying to be no other bitch. They trying to be them. And what did T.S. Madison say? A lot of times women used to say to her and still say to her, oh, you a woman. You want to be a woman. You want to be me. And T.S. Madison said, bitch, you talking about you in particular, because, bitch, I'm rich. That part. Because I'm manifesting the wealth part too, baby. I'm living my best leprechaun life. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm walking by faith, but goddamn it, I know there's something good in this bitch for me.
There's a boundary and there's a line. And like when you say things like that, that's completely disrespectful to biological women.
Wow.
It is.
Wow.
You know, you can't want respect, but then disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? Especially a gender that you are, you know, now converting to or a part of. You know, you just can't do that. Something else I wanted to address. There is a YouTube creator named Funky Dynamic. He's actually one of the co-hosts of Fox Soul's TGIF. And but he still has his YouTube channel. I've been following him forever, and he made a video about it. And in his video, he was saying how he didn't understand it, because initially he thought women were just mad because they were, you know, using the term cisgender. And he was like, you know, okay, so if cisgendered is such a problem, then we just stop saying it. We'll just stop saying cisgender. And then he was like, but even in the uproar and like all this MANDRELL going on, he still didn't understand what the underlying issue was. And so he and his co-host were having a back and forth in a group chat, and Claudia Jordan, she's one of the hosts.
Oh God.
But no, but she broke it down and finally articulated to him what the issue was. And after that, he could actually understand and get with, okay, now I understand why you're upset.
Why is Claudia upset?
And I have a clip of that so you guys can hear for yourself. So admin, go ahead and cue up clip number 2. So so he'll be reading the actual message from his phone.
Then I wrote to Claudia, I think a lot of women are being labeled transphobic because they can't clearly articulate why they are mad. So it leads one to think, oh, they just mad because they hate the trans. I am fairly smart, and not until probing you did I even begin to get an understanding of why y'all are mad. And then here was the shift in my thinking, because I want to show y'all this long ass paragraph that Claudia sent me that I'm about to read to you. And this is when I then understood what the fuck all going on. And now I got y'all back because I understand what's going on now. You gotta make folks understand. So Claudia wrote, imagine me telling you that something that bothers you as a gay man shouldn't be a big deal, because I don't think so. You be like, girl, bye. It's misogyny from gay, straight, and trans. First, we don't own womanhood. Then we got to change breastfeeding to chest feeding, not to offend the trans. Then told, bitch, if you get raped and you get pregnant, you don't have agency over your body anymore because men said so. I know that's not a community thing, but it's all adding to the mounting pressure and outrage we feel because we are under attack. Then we get told from the likes of Saucy Santana that we get our femininity from gay men working in glam or from trans women. Then we get told we're miserable for expressing ourselves, and if we don't explain it perfectly or clearly in a way that y'all accept, then we are just mad and bitter because we're somehow jealous. It's just maddening, Funky. So yeah, we are feeling a way, and it's been building up for a while. Then we gotta shut up and watch trans women in our sports now starting to win beauty pageants, being booked and replacing female models. And then let us not forget Caitlyn Jenner was awarded Woman of the Year. Those are just a few examples that I didn't say the other night when you asked me what are we losing and being told we don't gatekeep womanhood. And it feels and sounds crazy. Remember, folks were trying to say the song Natural Woman was offensive. It's like, what else? I feel like we're constantly being trolled. Black women are tired, and it feels like betrayal because most of us have been besties of someone from the community in a real way, not an accessory like on reality TV. And all of a sudden, we are the enemy, and any pushback we offer is deemed transphobic. It feels crazy. She said, I'd say we're more hurt than mad, and I'm tired. Al then chimes in and says, that's a lot to unpack. And shouts out to Claudia for explaining that. And then here is what I wrote. I said, and the way you just spelled this out to me, I now understand. Again, because I am not a woman, I simply did not get it. There is no way I could. But in fairness to me and others out there, I can't really get behind you and help champion your cause if I don't know what the issue truly is. All us outsiders are seeing is a bunch of black women upset, hollering, but no one is articulating why. After your statement, my eyes have been opened and I 100% now understand. And then Al wrote back facts, and then, you know, we had some more discourse, and that was the end of it. I 100% get it now. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. So when I hear the stories about the breastfeeding stations, the Caitlyn Jenner wins Women of the Year, the breastfeeding station, none of that shit impacts me. I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's some bullshit. Then I go back to my refrigerator, get some Kool-Aid, and trying to find me a cold pickle egg or something.
Nice cold pop.
When she explained it to me, it's like, oh shit. I get it. At this point now, I 100% get it. I can now stand behind y'all and be like, yeah, you know, I understand it now. But for me, all I was getting was a bunch of rah, 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 da, 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 and then you gotta understand my position. I'm already on edge when it comes with the phobia because I'm a black gay man who exists in the black gay community. So I already come to this conversation with the predisposition of phobia because that's the lens by which I view the world. That's a whole nother video, and we're not even gonna get into that. But we not finna sit up here and pretend like the black community is the most welcoming place for anything outside of what's acceptable in the Baptist church. All right? So that's that on that.
And also, too, what people have to understand is that these conversations are going to be very, very complex. If you want to sit up here and have simple baby-ass conversations, that's not going to fucking work, bruh. It's not going to be productive, and it doesn't do anything for any fucking body. Okay? What the hell is that? damn, everything just attacking. So here it is, Claudia spoke she was able to verbalize how she felt, which understandable. I can understand the feeling as far as being insulted. Damn, this nigga, how much health this bitch got? Shit. Hold on, y'all. Girl. Bruh. Okay. How about this? There we go. That works for me. Get your ass the fuck out of here. Thank you. Hello, goodbye. But Claudia has the right to feel how she feel, and there are women who feel that way too. But that's why the whole triggering thing is being played. Because again, if people did their research, wouldn't nobody feel no type of way, because there's miscommunication. This miscommunication. Imagine how much could have been resolved if these people would have said, if Claudia Jordan would have been like, okay then, hold on, girl. Hold Giselle. Hey bitch, how you doing? Girls, you busy? No, I need you to come on Fox Soul tonight because I'm gonna need your help to break this shit down. Hey T.S. Madison, girl, how you doing? I know you over there on World of Wonders, on Wild Productions, doing She Ate That and stuff, and you all over the world and shit, and we love that. But if you could, is there any way you can pencil yourself in this weekend or whenever we do the filming of this show, whether it's virtually, if you got to come in, because it's a virtual show if I'm not mistaken. Can you carve out some time so that we can have this really needed in-depth conversation? Because I don't want to sit up here and continue to do the same thing that everybody else does. Get triggered and then speak from the triggered state, but not being objective as well. Like, yeah, you can still be human, but can you also balance the shit the fuck out? And imagine if Claudia Jordan, T.S. Madison, Hope Giselle, and motherfucking Funky Dineva were to sit down for an hour and have a conversation about what happened. There would have been so much shit that would have came up and came out as far as ignorance is concerned that would have been exposed, and then it would have been diluted to where now we can actually deal with the truth. Like, there are ways I feel that can be beneficial. You just have to find the right people who are willing to have the wherewithal emotionally, mentally, to have the conversations, because a lot of, and no shade, and I'm gonna start saying this too, a lot of these people that's on these panels talking shit, y'all, some of y'all belong in the comment section. No shade. For a lot of these people that be up on these panels, girl, talking about shit that they don't know about, girl, some of you hoes belong in the comment section. Because y'all not adding anything to the conversation except motherfucking fuel to the fucking fire. And I get it. Black women are the most disrespected group of people on this planet, unfortunately, and especially in this country. But just like with black people, even though we were the blueprint for slavery and the structure of patriarchy and capitalism in this country, girl, we're not the only ones who are experiencing discrimination. We don't own the patent on that, girl. We were the blueprint. We were the grandmothers and grandfathers and grandgrands, okay, of the experience of the structure of that. But we don't own that. So yes, black women are being discriminated, and guess who comes to the defense a lot of times for black women? The queer community. And even Shushu said it on one live, and I got it on my Instagram, where she called black men out and said black cis hetero men out. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's be real. It's always been gay men that's been there for black women, that's been helping them and all that type of stuff. And of course, we're not trying to fuck them. So there's a more objective understanding. I can talk to a woman and not be distracted by her titties and her ass and her coochie cat and my mind somewhere else, and I can actually be in the present moment. But at the same time, trans women are still dealing with shit as well, because they still show up in the social construct as women. And in this patriarchal system, if you are forfeiting the power that comes with your dick, You must be dumb. You must be delusional. Why would you want to give your dick up? Why? So trans women are equated to women and possibly lower than women because these are males trying to impersonate females, according to some people. That's why I say a lot of y'all are not really ready to have these conversations. We live in an era where everybody wants the clicks, the views, the streams, but they don't want the accountability and the fucking responsibility that comes with all that shit. And then when they get up there, there's going to come a time where they're going to look a fucking fool, girl. Meanwhile, the ones who are putting in the work, like myself, the ones who have the smaller views and the smaller subscribers, but putting in hours upon hours upon hours of motherfucking work, and everything I say make motherfucking sense, and his bitches in they spirit and they goddamn soul, bitch. That's how you build and establish credibility. And I had a boss ass teacher girl that helped lay down the motherfucking foundation. Just like how Christ supposedly laid down the foundation for a lot of you religious motherfuckers, girl, who said that you will go forth and do far greater works than me, and to let me be your foundation. Not y'all want the children to be smarter than y'all and then gag when the children do exactly that, which is be smarter than y'all. Let me read some of Deshaun's comments. But damn, Deshaun, you was in it. First off, there is no gay agenda, but if that's the case, let's speak about every agenda, like the RAPE culture agenda. Let's talk about the killing agenda. Let's talk about every other agenda that's going on in this world. Is that I'm just reading how it's put, talking about sexuality that is getting annoying, because just because the straight people force gay people to be straight just because of their amusement, it's not going to work, because they are creating a monster, and when they create monsters, they laugh at them. Hell yeah, look at Andrew Caldwell. Look at Andrew motherfucking Caldwell. And even he getting his goddamn karma. Shout out to League of Liars, girl. I kind of had an idea of doing a Sims Let's Play with Andrew Caldwell. And I might do one, because no shade, can't nobody do it like League of Liars, because League of Liars is hilarious with the AI voice or whatever. But again, like, there's different variations. I want to do a variation of that as well, because I had an idea. But even he's getting his karma. D-Nation, everybody clocking him for his lies. And the thing is, this is not anything new. Like, I've said it before and I will say it again. That's why I speak a lot, talk about, and even apply to my own life what self-love is. Because whatever false world you're believing in is going to come crashing down. Are you going to be able to survive that? And you can. Because in the words of Fantasia, sometimes you have to lose to win again. If it makes you cry, cry, cry.
Okay, yeah. And we're back. So yeah, I know there was a lot to unpack. And for
Not really. I don't even unpack it, girl.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, for anyone who, especially like, you know, the LGBT community who didn't understand why women were so upset, and I guess because no one actually took the time to actually like explain it without like, you know, a bunch of like anger, you know, a lot of people didn't understand or get like why they so mad.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: black men been telling black women that y'all been.
So not y'all starting to understand what the group of people have been going through. Not the shoe has been put on the other foot now, and now y'all starting to get a first-hand experience and feel of what it's like to be that. And when it comes to black people, that's why I be kind of giving a little bit of extra more seasoning salt, okay, and a little bit more extra sugar in the goddamn Kool-Aid, because we are a group of people who knows what it feels like generationally, okay? What it's like to be discriminated against. We understand this. It's to the point to where, girl, it's nonverbal communication. We understand energetically, baby. Black people understand. It's happened so long that they can feel it. We should be the most empathetic group of people who are willing to understand other groups of people. We should be able to do that. But are we doing that? Hell no. And I get it. Maybe it's fatigue because we've been fighting for so long. But that's why community is important, girl. Because it's a bunch of gay people that can do things that can help alleviate stuff. But what y'all not finna do is do like how y'all did in the past, which is be grateful for our contribution, but sweep it under the rug or put it in very small print to where you have to put on a magnifying glass to see who contributed. We talk about Bayard Rustin. Hello. I forgot the name of the other individual. Allegedly is a black gay man who was a millionaire at the time who fronted the money for the civil rights movement. Marsha P. Johnson, girl, a black trans woman that was the grandmother and the first one to throw the spear in reference to Stonewall and having some sort of queer liberation. Again, black people, we know how to start shit, girl. But y'all not gonna treat other people in your group, in your society, in your community as if though you are the oppressor now. Because there's a lot of oppressor energy within these neighborhoods, within the black community, within these churches.
Used by, you know, these movements, the LGBTQ movement. I'm not talking about the community, not talking about the community, but these so-called movements, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, LGBTQ movement. Black men been telling black women, look, y'all didn't cut that shit out. They're using you for the longest time. And lo and behold, now whoever the powers that be are, they've turned the LGBTQ movement against black women. And again, black women get the short end of the stick because you don't follow your men. When we tell you these things, we don't know what we're talking about. You don't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah.
Hold on. Until you start telling women what they need to do, you need to start telling these niggas out on the street what they need to do. Like, that be the thing. Y'all want to deal with the easy shit first, but don't want to deal with the difficult shit, but yet want to be treated like a leader and treated like a motherfucking king. That's where the gag come into play. So, of course, there are going to be some people who are going to be like, why would I want you to lead me and you're not even doing the hard shit? And you're not understanding because you're talking about these movements and not the community. Okay, we're talking about the community. And guess who's always been there for black women, black gay men? The community has been there. The everyday, average Joe Smo gay male has been there for black women. Hello. And if y'all want to focus on the government's agenda, because I believe there's two agendas. There's the agenda of the actual queer people who just want to fucking exist and have their slice of the pie. And then there is the government's agenda that wants to continue to use the queer community in a strategic way, financially and monetarily. Okay? And then all the fighting and all of the confusion, all the bullshit that we still dealing with, that we don't know how to work through, the conversations that we need to be having but we're not fucking having, it continues to play into the government's agenda. So y'all really playing into the gay agenda, not us. Y'all playing into the gay agenda in reference to the fear aspect of it. People fear what they do not understand, and they begin to hate what they fear. So again, is y'all ready to go down the rabbit hole? That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all gonna need a little bit of weed or something to help you, because baby, your mind will be blown. You gonna need something to help recalibrate you. And bitch, if there's one motherfucking thing that I will smoke, girl, from the earth is weed, girl. It came from the earth, baby. Indians smoked it in a peace pipe, bitch. They was dancing around trees and fire and bringing all type of rain and elemental shit happening, girl. And there had to be some sort of altered state. I think even in the Bible, at certain synagogues and certain temples, girl, they would light copious amounts of marijuana, girl, to have the prophets in an induced state to hear from the spirit realm. There's so much information. There is no reason for anyone really to be ignorant about anything. If you want to be ignorant, girl, you're making the conscious choice to be ignorant at this point.
All we ask for a little cooperation, ladies, and look at where you are now. Now you're looking for black men to help you out and fix it, like we always do.
No, women are fixing it.
Oh, you knew? Yeah, I know, because we're gonna make you fix it.
Whatever. So
no, this is what you get for not listening.
Wait.
You didn't want us to fix it? You go fix it now.
Mandrell, that ain't.
And see how this shit feels when you have to actually fix a problem.
Well. Yeah, so what it
acting like so black women have not sat here and have pushed out entire fucking human beings out of their cootie cat girl with none of these niggas around.
Trans women, we acknowledge
pause this game. I'm trying to enjoy this game and I can't. Let's not sit up here and act like black women don't be putting in motherfucking work. They push out the baby and take care of the goddamn baby. Because while y'all out in the world doing what the hell you want to do, this woman now has to be inside the house with other human beings and try to regulate and deal with their bullshit. Gotta motherfucking do y'all laundry where y'all motherfucking grown as hell and got doo-doo streaks all up and through y'all damn underwear, baby. Goddamn, gotta throw some of y'all shit away. Then have the nerve to lift some of y'all fupas up and say, come on, baby, go ahead, put your mouth on me. After the way your underwear look, nigga, you need to go wash your ass and soak thoroughly in a bath. Turn your hot water on up, high as hell. Put a little bit of goddamn Comet, put a little bit of CLR for that rust in the back of your shit. And put a bath bomb in that motherfucker, girl, because we gonna need some sort of soaking and releasing of the shit in the goddamn dingleberries that's dangling down. And statistically speaking, black women, yes, they don't need a man to survive. They may want one, girl. They're realizing that all they need is themselves, girl. There is nothing outside of them that can complete them. And they're not falling for the trick, girl. If you're going to be with some of these black women, you're going to have to step your shit up and be with them. And it's not like black women don't want to be with black men. Hell, I am a black gay man and I would prefer to be with a black man. But I'm not going to be with just any old person because, oh, I don't want to be alone, bitch. I can do bad all by myself. I don't need no extra help doing some shit to fuck shit up. And until there is a happy house, happy spouse rule, not a happy wife, happy life, but a happy house, happy spouse, until that happens, and back in the day, wasn't black women also cutting pussy off saying no peace, no pussy or whatever? Because y'all niggas was out there doing wrong. You're doing it wrong. I said you're doing it wrong. It ain't me because I don't like vagina. So I ain't breaking women's heart. I ain't out here having motherfucking 4-5. I'm not out here on no blue face shit. I'm not out here while my baby mama in the motherfucking hospital over here screaming at the top of her damn lungs, shitting on herself, trying to push out our child, and I'm over somewhere else having a vacation with my other baby mama, and then get upset when other men hold my damn baby when I wasn't there to hold my damn baby. Do you understand the cognitive dissonance that's going on? But the queer people fucking shit up. Nah, just like how the Kojic Church, Lord Jesus. Just like how the Kojic Church is responsible for Andrew Caldwell, and that there needs to be a heavy foot upon the neck of the Kojic Church to come clean up whatever the hell they messed up, trying to start his life all over again. I made up my mind. I don't like women's no more. I'm a liar, still a liar and a cheater. Fucking women through the door, girl. Y'all not ready.
You know, they show up in public and we
but I'm sure
still embrace
so
them
y'all ain't ready.
As a part
ready.
of women or the woman community, I guess you can say. But at the same time, like it has like crossed the line. Like once it gets to a point where we're told, you know, what being a woman is, we're told what femininity is, we're told like, you know, this and that. And ultimately what it turns into is you still have a man, even though he's converted to a woman, telling women what womanhood is and policing us and what we're supposed to do.
Wow.
Yeah, here's where I agree with you.
So trans
I don't
women
think anyone should tell a woman what a woman is.
Are telling women how to be. Even though y'all use the example of Funky Dineva, who opened his mouth and said, I am not a woman. I am not a woman. You can't make this up. That's why I tell people, look, love yourself and try to walk in as much of your truth as you can, because if you don't, baby, you gonna fuck around and slip up in ways that you didn't even understand how you slipped up in, girl. Just expose your damn self. And okay, let's play the game. Let's say that trans women are doing that. Let's play devil's advocate, you know. Let's say trans women are doing that. Let's say trans women are out here policing women, and gay men are out here policing men and women. Wouldn't you think that would kind of be payback on how heterosexuality police queer people, especially feminine gay men and especially trans women? But again, two wrongs don't make a right, right? That's why it pays to treat people with respect, because you never know how karma gonna work, and it works in mysterious ways. So either way, it's gonna have to take a lot of truth from both parts, and no shade. A lot of queer people have been telling the truth. A lot of queer people have been telling the truth. All the shit they've been dealing with, there are some queer people who have transcended bullshit. And for people on Black Men Unfiltered and Lance Scurv and all of these other hotep, black conscious, family ass networks, Christian networks, have had these queer people in their vicinity, and they could have had the opportunity to learn so much. And even when they did have the opportunity to learn so much, the feedback that they received was, why you allowing these fucking what's the word they call them, girl? Eunuchs. Why you allowing these eunuchs on the platform? Why you giving these people a voice on this platform? You know what we stand for. Hell, MANDRELL and Dr. Bennett, especially MANDRELL, almost got chewed the fuck out for trying to go over to other queer people's content, their YouTube channel, other content creators, and try to bridge the gap with them. Called them all type of weird, oh my god, is you coming out the closet, like. And I mean, if y'all telling jokes, just say that, girl, because we can make this Laugh-A-Palooza too. I'm with the dark humor too. I'm with all of it, honestly. Even some of the scary shit I'm learning in my own life, girl. I have to be about it.
This is up to woman.
Right.
Now, and I mean this in the sense that you must be born female.
Mm-hmm.
Born female in order to know what a woman really is. If you're born male, there's no way to know what a woman is really. You don't have the same body chemistry. The hormones are different. You know what I'm saying? And all of that does matter. The body chemistry governs a lot. So what people do is, you know,
we're talking about the social
really
constructs.
What it is, it's a mimic. You're mimicking what you observe. You know, your observation of what womanhood is and what women do, how they speak and everything like that. And when he was reading the letter, I've never heard some of the stuff. I've never heard members of the LGBTQ community say to women. Some of it I have heard, some of it I haven't. Like, I don't get how a transgender person can tell a woman what womanhood is. I'm like, no, see, that's where you're going wrong. Be who you want to be.
No, trans women are telling heterosexual bio women what their experience as a trans woman is, because these women even say that they're trans. T.S. Madison still has the T.S. in front of her damn name. They're telling you what their experience of transness is. Y'all turn around and tell them that, oh no, how can't you? Because you can't give birth and you can't bleed and you can't do this. And it's like, y'all not literally listening to what I'm saying. Like, that is your experience as a woman in reference to being a female. Yes, and the social construct. And y'all not even speaking about the social construct. Y'all speaking about the anatomy of a female. Y'all equate women to just female only, when women, again, is a spectrum. Because y'all believe that women should dress modest. Women shouldn't wear jeans. They should wear skirts. Women should look a certain way. Women should act a certain way. Women, real women, are in the house. Real women are cooking and cleaning. Real women are looking after the children. Real women are serving pussy up even though they don't want to. Real women are this. There's a social construct and not everybody follows that. And then when there are women who don't follow the social construct, look at how they're received. Look at the responses that are made towards them. Oh, you need to become more feminine. You need to stop being so masculine. Or you could just learn how to level your shit up and appreciate a motherfucker in your life who is loving you but is showing up in how they show up. Some of you niggas want your wives to show up and motherfucking give you head like they did when y'all was younger, when your body ain't the same no more. You used to have abs. You used to have a six-pack. You used to have a V-cut. Now your shit done turned to a whole goddamn W, girl. Your thighs haven't seen each other since Jesus was alive, girl. I didn't know that Fupa can separate thighs to make them extinct. Shout out to Chicken Pickle for that one. So again, trans women are sharing their experience and y'all want to try to police and correct them. And then on top of it, let's talk about this whole chest feeder and bonus hole thing. I have not heard of no black trans women ever saying chest feeder or bonus hole. That sounds like somebody saying, oh, you lint liquor. That's some no shade. That's more of white people shit. Black people, when they read and roast girl, especially trans women, they gonna throw some motherfucking bitches and hoes and cuss and shit and be creative with their reads. Queer people are very creative, especially black queer people. I have not heard any of these black trans women that I have seen publicly open their mouth and say, oh, you chest feeder, oh, you bonus hole bitch. I haven't heard it. And again, if you've heard it, where is the proof? Where are the y'all are on the right side of truth so much, y'all say, and we're the 1%. Y'all should have everything motherfucking queued up, bitch. Like, look, this y'all, 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 this y'all. Y'all see that? That's you too. Y'all don't, girl. And then again, when y'all get up on the platform with queer people, y'all very, girl, let's make peace. Not war. You know, Jesus loved everybody. You know, Jesus, don't, you know, the Lord ain't done with me yet. You know, oh, girl. So when it's fire and brimstone and hell time, girl, when it's time to stand on your soapbox, girl, and throw motherfucking stones, girl, from your pulpit and from your position, it's all cool and dandy, girl, but once now the playing field has been leveled, girl, and everybody got a motherfucking stone, bitch. And now people start to look at your ass like it's dodgeball, girl. Now all of a sudden, don't trip because he ain't through with me yet.
I don't care because I'm indifferent to the whole LGBTQ. I'm indifferent.
Right.
Love who you love.
Right.
Are you happy? Good enough for me. So, but the thing is, when they're telling women how to be women,
simple.
I think a lot of it, what it is where the problem comes in is you have some members of the trans community specifically who want to be seen as or treated as a biological woman, right? You know, they want to be the same as a biological woman, you know, and acknowledged as though they are a biological woman. But listen, and I'm trying to be as you know, sensitive as possible to this.
At this point, I want y'all to just be honest.
As a biological woman,
be honest.
I am a part of, you know, the woman collective, which means, you know, within the woman collective, we have Black women, we have white women, we have Asian women, we have Latin women, and, you know, we are all women, though, at the end of the day. So there are some things that we do have in common, but we also all know that based upon our, you know, certain attributes that we have, all women don't have the same advantages in life. All women don't have the same, like, certain things other women can get away with that I can't. We also know that, what's going on here? And certain things, like, for instance, you look at pretty privilege. Certain women can get farther in life and they get opportunities that the average everyday woman can't have solely because of what they look like. You know, it's not fair, but it is what it is. But they're still a part of the woman collective. For trans women, I will say this, you know, even though we are embracing you as a part of the woman collective, you still have to understand there's still a part of you that is just it's different. It's not the same.
Okay.
It's not.
That's understandable. And then y'all can't sit up here when trans women operate in what makes them different, and then y'all be jealous of it. Kind of like how there are trans attracted men that want them, and it might be a man that you want. You gonna have to swallow that pill, girl, that maybe that man likes a woman with a little extra shit, or a woman without the extra shit, or whatever the case may be, that you're not gonna always get it either. So again, and I like that analogy because I feel like that's true about humanity. We are unique in our expressions. We are the infinite expressions of God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, right? But we're not special in reference to we get special rights and all type of shit. We are human beings. However you choose to live your own individual life is where you find your power. And again, trans women understand biologically what they were born as. But as they show up in the world today, nobody calling these trans women sirs and misters. They're getting misses and ma'ams all up and down and across the board, to the point to where there are even biological women and some gay same-gender loving men who, once again, like I said earlier, who would tell on trans women and be like, oh, you know, that's a man, right? See, y'all not ready for the rabbit hole. I get it. Y'all want to be able to look at it from a safe distance, to kind of be like a few feet apart, touching it with a fucking 3-foot pole, girl. You kind of want to keep your distance away from it. And the reason why you want to keep it distant is because when it comes down to the sexual aspect, that's what y'all highlight. That is what y'all think a lot of times about the queer community, is sex and sex only. Sex does not make up the totality of life. It's a part of life, because sex is an energy thing and it has multiple uses, not just to bring in life, but it also helps to improve the life of the partner that you're having sex with, especially if you're doing it from a higher vibratory state. And having sex with intention and purpose. Because look at all of the destruction that has been brought into this world by people who can come together and produce. Again, look at the foster care rate. The queer people ain't having the kids, according to y'all. The niggas out here sagging their pants and listening to trap music, and all the people that you call the dredge of society, we didn't make them, y'all did. And if there was an actual fucking community of people who actually loved on individuals and tried to break their own limited mindset about stuff, then maybe we could start making true, genuine change. And here's my thing. For those who don't have the energy and the strength for it, fine. Move your ass out the way, girl, and find you some other way to contribute to the community. When it comes down to trying to come up with solutions and then trying to find a way to strategize this shit and to put this shit in motion so that we can start manifesting the hope and the dream of the motherfucking slave, and that all of the children, the grandchildren of slavery, girl, the queer liberation is the grandchildren of slavery, girl. Women's liberation is the grandchildren of slavery in this country, girl. All of the oppressed people are black people's sons and daughters and children, so that the hope and the dream of the slaves and freedom actually manifests. At this point, where is the individuals who are on the opposite side, who want to try to find a gray area, who also like smoking weed and don't mind not being politically correct and just stating the truth so we could get down to the nitty gritty? Where are those niggas at, girl? Because all I see majority of the time in the manosphere, girl, is a bunch of weak ass niggas, girl, who got a mic And now they want to be just like the bitches, just like the women's, according to them, project how hurt they've been. But y'all the stoic ones, right? Y'all the ones that can turn off your emotions like a light switch, right? Oh, girl. If they were to decriminalize weed again, girl, the apocalypse would start, girl, because some motherfuckers would go crazy.
And that just is what it is. It doesn't mean that we don't accept you. It doesn't mean that, you can't sit with us. None of that. It just means that you have to understand that it is different. Bottom line.
We know that.
Yeah. So
they know that.
That just is what it is. The next video I have is actually from a member of the trans community. Who isn't necessarily a favorite in the trans community, I will say.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah. So,
yeah, Michael. Look, if we get some people from the queer community, as it's called, and I get that from gay people, they said it's okay to use that to refer to the LGBTQ community, right? Yes. So if we get some of them up here, I want to know, what is the rub with Flame Monroe? Why is that person so ostracized and hated? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Like, I want to hear from them.
Because a lot of them, they feel like a lot of the things she says, like, incites violence against trans women.
How?
And it's not. I think a lot of it is because there's certain things that people don't want to hear, and Flame says it, and they don't like it. So bottom line is, Flame Monroe is a transgender woman, but the difference is Flame is, he understands he's still a man. You know what I'm saying? He understands that he dresses up, and I go around as I present myself as a woman, but underneath I'm still a man, and I accept that. But you have some people who, like I said, before my last statement, you have some trans women who, even though they may have not gone through the reassignment surgery, they still, have male parts, but they still want to be seen as a biological woman. You know what I mean? And Flame is like, when he talks about that, like, I'm not a biological woman. That's the bottom line. And a lot of you all aren't either. And, and people don't want to hear that. That's the bottom line. People don't want to hear that. But he made a very interesting statement in a live feed that he did. And he shows a clip when he was on the Breakfast Club talking about, transgender women. And he got a lot of flack for this. And so admin, go ahead, cue it up, because we're going to talk about it too. Sorry, y'all. It takes a second.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for the video to start, think about this, people. I got a question. Why everybody hating on Ice Spice?
Girl.
Ice Spice?
Yeah. Why everybody hating on Ice Spice?
I have no idea.
I hadn't heard any of her music, but all I keep hearing is just how people just.
I stand with Jess.
Mute your mic.
I stand with women, and many of my trans sisters got an issue with who I stand with. You don't fuck with me no way. Guess what? I don't fuck with no bitch that don't fuck with me. And again, let me take y'all back to some shit right quick. Let me take y'all back to some shit, cause ain't shit wrong with me. I just look like this. Ain't shit wrong with Mother Goose. She just look like this. Let me take y'all right back to it. Until let y'all know again that you cannot outgirl a girl when you was born as a boy.
That's the woman version of Granny McCrae.
You cannot outgirl a girl when you was born as a boy. And stop talking about what women can't bear children. You tranny bitches ain't finna have no goddamn kids no way. And some of the ones I know that do have kids, you don't even take care of your motherfucking kids.
Well, niggas don't take care of their kids, so I mean,
you just want to holler. I got some kids. I got kids. Yeah, but you got kids. Who take care of them?
I'm attracted to a beautiful woman, not the sexual organ. Nigga, the lies you tell. The men who are attracted to trans women feel like the bigger you are, the bigger you are. They're not attracted to us because we beautiful women with breasts. In their mentality, they feel like I'm not with a man because you got all the feminine parts, but you still got that tool that I need. That's just real of it. And I know some of my sisters gonna be upset with me, but bitch, y'all ain't gonna do shit. See, that's why.
Hey, did you hear mother say y'all ain't gonna do shit?
Girl, we ain't gonna do shit. Your surgeon already did enough, girl. That would be overkill.
Y'all ain't gonna do shit. Some mess. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me pause. Let me pause and explain. To MANDRELL, he asked a question. Why are trans people or queer community, why they have some sort of opposition against Miss Ma'ams, Miss He, She, We, Them, They, Sir, Zer, and them? What the issue and the problem is, and how what she says can be seen as transphobic. Because, first of all, it gives the illusion of kind of like how there are black people who grift and shoe shine and are pick niches and shit for white people to still fit into this form of, oh, well, I'm not them individuals. I ain't them. I'm different. I ain't them. You know what I'm saying? I understand what I am. I know that I got a dick. But what happens is that they end up being used as a token to tell other queer people that they're delusional. Because here it is, you have somebody who's trans saying the same thing we're saying, and y'all saying something different. Oh my God, oh my God. And then it plays into this whole idea of delusion. Then you got some of these old head ass nigga, cat daddy store ass, liquor store drinking ass niggas, girl. The stylistics, the whispers looking ass niggas, girl. Start talking about, remember back in the day, they had something on the books when homosexuality was a mental disorder before they took it off. And all, then it goes with the conspiracy theories. And then what happens is that trans people end up getting murked. And we just had a story within these past few weeks of a cisgendered, biological black woman who was murdered because she was assumed to have been a trans woman. If anything, it's showing y'all, especially with the patriarchy thing, it don't matter if you are a bio woman or trans woman, just women in general is under attack. And the only time that women are honored is when they're cooking and cleaning and washing everything, doing all of that. That's it. And she affirms that because, again, let's not forget, also, Flame Monroe is an old school gay, so there's a different perspective. You even still have older gays who grew up with older heterosexual people who still believe in their respectability politics and the whole bullshit of what you should look like and what you shouldn't look like. This is a more freer generation of people who are going to be themselves. And then on top of that, when trans women walk out and say that they're trans, you still have people sitting here saying, oh, well, you still this. And I'm gonna call you what your mama called you and your daddy called you. Oh, there's no way. Nuh-uh. I don't care if you got titties. I don't care if you got this. You still Robert, Darnell, Darnell. It's disrespectful to them because that is not their experience. That's not who they are anymore. Just like how people have the right to evolve and grow and change, the same thing for trans women. But then queerphobic people will use Flame Monroe as an example to say, y'all are the delusional ones. And you know what we do with delusional people eventually after a time? They have to go. They have to be eradicated. And again, over in Uganda, which none of the people on that platform has even answered my question of Uganda, and I'm going to still ask that question. They just made their first 2 arrests of quote-unquote aggravated homosexuality. For queer people, unfortunately, this is not a game. This is not Grand Theft Auto 5. Your ass die and you show up at the hospital. Yeah, you lost a little money because you had to pay for your hospital expenses. You don't have your weapon anymore, but you got a new lease on life. That's not the case. Trans women are being murked, and there are cisgender biological women that are being murked as well for being assumed of being trans.
Yeah. So like I said, Flame is very vocal about the fact that, he still has, his penis, his male part. And he understands that for men who are attracted to, trans women specifically, they, in their mentality, and he just explained it, like on, he explained on the Breakfast Club, you have a woman on the outside, but they still have a tool. You know what I mean? And that is what it is. And a lot of that, like the exterior allows for, I'm not even gonna go there, but yeah, what you think?
Yeah, here's the thing. It's the feminine look, I think, that guys are attracted to when it comes to the transgenders. Like, that's what Flame was saying. You see the woman on the outside, but guys, straight guys, he or she is saying, straight guys fool themselves saying that, oh, no, it's the feminine look on the outside that I like. It ain't the tool, but no.
Right.
No. So I think those guys who are attracted to transgenders like that, they are gay too, or bisexual at least, because, like, I don't care what you say, a transgender can look just like, and I've been to Brazil. There's some transgenders that really do look female, but the second you find out they're transgender, you're like, no, thank you, not with it. Because if you do anything with a transgender, you're gay.
Right.
Because now you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
right, yeah.
Because now you know that was born a male, and if you're not into it, you're just not into it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing and no one that can change that.
Bottom line is this, and I allowed that for a reason. The men who are attracted to trans women are attracted to trans women for a specific reason. You know what I mean? They have something that biological women don't.
Why would you want it though if you're not gay?
But the bottom line is this: like I said, they have something.
It's okay.
Women
it's
don't.
okay. Some people,
a lot of that is because they know.
Some people gonna be ICDC college to the shit, and that's okay. That's definitely fine.
So, they still get ridiculed in society for showing up like with a man, like man that looks like a man. So
yeah, but there's still, understand, it's the attraction. After you find out that person's a transgender, you're turned off. As a straight man, I'm completely like it's like a light switch. Done.
Right.
Over. Right. Never to return. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so that's what I'm saying. Like, okay. Like, well, I don't understand how anyone can go through it.
I said that to say this. Really, I added that in there to say this. There's no competition between biological women and transgender women. The men who like trans women like them for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gay.
You're right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If that's what you like the same tool that you got.
Right.
You are, in fact, you're gay or at least bisexual.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta admit that. You're at least, at minimum, you're bisexual. But I think it's a bit more than that. I think it's something you wanted to try for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the opportunity knocks, you run over there and do it, but you hide it because you know it's taboo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
And that's another thing I wanted to say. Just embrace who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just embrace.
This is the gag of it all. Sorry, I was sipping water. The gag of it all is, y'all say all that and then have the nerve, excuse me, have the nerve to say, to just be yourself. Just be yourself, girl, and then look what happens when you are yourself. That's why I say, look, love yourself and live your life anyway, because people are going to interpret your existence and your reality regardless, and that's something that you cannot motherfucking change. But as far as how you motherfucking treat me, and as far as what you gonna do to me, I have some control in that. Because I think what's happening is that a lot of black people who are queerphobic want queer people to go back in the closet and be quiet again. Be quiet. Go back in the closet in the dark so we can fuck with you in the dark. We can fuck you in the dark. Let's just go back. And now quit people saying, girl, ain't no closet to go back to, bitch. We burnt that bitch down. It's only death, ho. And we gonna die anyway, bitch, so you know we gonna choose life. And again, you're right. There is no competition between bio women and trans women because y'all are having different unique experiences. Keyword unique, but you're not the only one, boo. There are trans women that are gonna pull niggas and pull the niggas you want and have you gagging. It is what it is. Just keep working on yourself so you can attract your forever man. So you can attract your forever mate. You ain't gotta worry about what the hell going on with somebody else because you got a man at home.
Embrace who you are. If you are who you are, embrace it.
You know, I mean, it's 2023. It's okay
until
to be
you
gay,
embrace
they
it too
say.
much, and don't embrace it in front of the kids.
Okay.
They do say that.
That's true. They do say it, like, you know, and I know, like I say, you know, members of the community don't particularly like what you call Flame Monroe, but the bottom line is Flame accepts, you know, himself for who he is. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you just have to accept yourself for who you are.
But that bitch ain't them
and
either.
Like, you know,
she ain't other trans women either, girl. She don't speak for all trans women.
Yeah, and shout out to Brother Clarence from Let's
like
Talk the Better Black Life. Brother Clarence says, trans men, I need my glasses. Trans men and lesbians don't try to cross into the heterosexual marketplace and then say they are better at being men. Some of them do, Brother Clarence.
Yeah,
Some of them. I'm trying to think of a way to say this. Some of them,
I don't want you to
wish they had the balls to be able to say that with confidence, though. They said it.
And let's talk about balls. It's so funny that y'all talk about balls, but, and I've said this before, if you were to slightly fling a ball, girl, niggas dropping to the motherfucking floor. Women, females push whole human beings out of their uterus and take that shit in goddamn stride. I'll take my chances with the individual who brought me in this world, not the one who enjoyed his little part in bringing me into the world.
Boost their own ego and make themselves feel better, but you know, you don't have the testosterone for it. Like, there's a video of a woman who transitioned into a man, and now he made this video saying that how he didn't know how lonely of an existence being a man was.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And so that's the thing. I think that before people transition, they really need to really think about what they're doing and examine what kind of a lifestyle they're going to live. Because being a man, it can be a very lonely existence, because it's true what they say. No one cares about men. And that's a true thing. Like, no one's gonna
don't even care about
no one's gonna give a shit that you're homeless. That it's your own fault, they say, you know, or pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Be a man, you know what I'm saying? They say, you know what I mean? Get up and do something, the whole nine, you know. So, and that it's a real thing. Women avoid you because they automatically assume you're gonna hit on or something, you know. Other guys, I mean, we kind of do our own thing and hang out with our boys every now and again.
Yeah,
it's an every now and again thing. It's not. You know, you don't hang out with your boys every weekend, especially if you get in a relationship or something like that. No, you're with your lady,
right? You
know, so or if you're a successful man, you're busy all the time. You don't have time to hang out with your boys all the time like that. You know,
right? So like, yeah, not to cut you out. I want to get to this last topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot. The indoctrination of children.
Oh, here we go, girl. This is the
you know, I have an actual video clip from
this is the one, girl.
The next clip is coming from.
It's kind of like when you at church, girl, and it's Men's Day, and you bombing on your speech, girl. You bombing on you preaching the message, the good gospel of Jesus Christ, girl, and you see the crowd is not involved. The crowd is not engaged in the way you want. So you use your secret weapon, girl. You turn it to motherfucking Mother Frances Kelly old ass, girl. I can't stand them sissies. I don't know what to do. They always switching some damn well trying to be a woman. I can't stand them. Y'all turn into that girl and the whole church is set on fire. Ya, 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 ya. Okay? That's what y'all use as y'all shield. Y'all use the children as a shield to hide y'all ignorance, to hide y'all biasness, to hide y'all fear, to hide y'all queer phobia. I didn't fucking have the damn child, so now that's your responsibility. So now you gotta actually be a parent. Just like you telling trans people, oh, well, you need to make sure this is what you want to do. Tell that to heterosexual people who want to have kids. Before you have kids, are you prepared for the shit that come with it? Are you prepared to sacrifice time, effort, and energy that you ain't gonna get back? And if they don't go the way you want, are you gonna be okay with living with yourself as a parent, knowing you did the best you could? Are you prepared for that? Hell no to the no, no, no. I feel like we're asking the right questions to the wrong people. Because again, even with trans women, before, if you're doing it in a legal way, okay, with your medical, with a medical professional, okay, practitioner, if you're doing that, you have to go through some form of therapy before, because again, there are changes that are being made, and especially when it's like if you're going into surgery and you're going into surgery for something that's very high risk, they still need to ask the question, hey, if you were to die, do you want us to rehabilitate you, or do you want us to let you die because of religious beliefs? There are people who are trying to dot their I's and cross their T's so that there's no negligence on their part. Now, yes, there are some people in the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry who are all about money, but for those who are not and are really in it to uphold the Hippocratic Oath, to make sure that they're helping and not harming someone and actually bringing somebody into wellness, they're going to do all they have to do to make sure that that person is mentally, emotionally, physically, and in a lot of cases spiritually prepared for this transition and this shift. Because even though this trans woman has now transformed and was able to manifest how she feels on the inside, outside, in reference to what the social construct says that a woman is, not what it actually is, but what they believe and interpret a woman to be, just because she does that does not mean that all of a sudden the transphobia just dissipates and now, girl, I'm living my best trans life. No, she's still going to go through some difficulties in dating, and guess what? That's not a trans thing. There is a difficulty in dating in general because a lot of people are hurt of being used and abused, lied to. See, it's a lot of shit that we're not choosing to pay attention on, and I'm sick and tired of people keep reiterating the same surface level bullshit. Is y'all hoes ready? See, I'm a top and I'm all about deep penetration because that's how it is for me, baby. I go deep, okay? I'm short, but I sacrifice in other ways, girl. How deep is your love, bitch? How deep is your mind? Is y'all ready for this, girl? Hit the motherfucking blunt, breathe in and out, and relax your muscles.
What is it? It's a group. What's you call that show? Damn it, how I forgot the name of it already. Anyway, it's a clip from a very popular show. They have conservative women with a group of transgender women, and they have a conversation. And in this particular scene, it's talking about the indoctrination.
The transgender movement is indoctrinating our youth.
Girl, y'all weak. If y'all youth is that mentally weak, what does that say about y'all as parents?
Especially on social media,
y'all
on
some
TikTok,
weak ass parents. Then maybe y'all shouldn't have kids. Then
really just targeting children, and you're seeing drag shows, even in conservative states like Texas, and even just media, movies. Like it seems like everything seems to be targeted at these kids. You have drag story hour for kids, and it's just really, I think, predatory in a way. And I'm not saying every trans person is doing this, but as a whole, there does seem to be a route that they're taking to get
not
to the
all,
kids.
but as a whole, girl.
Blues Clues playing in the
That's
next room,
oxymoronic.
and then you hear the gay parade song. It's Blues Clues. You're not expecting to be talking to the children about that. It really makes you wonder, are they really coming for the children?
And I think we see in our population now the rate of young children who are identifying as transgender, non-binary is skyrocketing. And I think there's something to be said for people who are truly experiencing gender dysphoria, which we recognize exists, and those who are experiencing what is now going to be called, or in the future going to be called, this social contagion gender dysphoria, where they're being exposed to it on social media or in school, or mom and dad are having a conversation about it with children, and children are now starting to develop gender confusion.
Can the disagree a step forward?
The fact that the trans movement has got people shook has me so excited. The trans movement is not indoctrinating our youth. Our youth are understanding who they are at a younger age. And from what I was hearing over here is a lot of what y'all were saying, I wonder would you say it to the parents? Because we need to really look at what the parents of trans youth really go through. Trans youth, instead of them enjoying their life, playing with their friends, they're up in legislation trying to fight for basic rights here. 1 in 5 transgender youth have tried to commit suicide. Why are we trying to police them?
I have to agree with you guys. I do not like the drag queen social hours. I personally, as a trans person, didn't ever go to a drag show until I was about 40. I'm not for the sexualization of kids. Why are we not letting kids be kids and bringing sex into their lives so early?
I think it's predatory in general to talk about sex with children.
Yeah.
Straight sex, any kind of sex.
Who's teaching sex to 3rd grade children? I really want to know.
Have you looked at the California curriculum for sex education?
Everywhere.
You need to.
I know that when I was in preschool, I got my first crush on a boy because to me at the time, he was in kindergarten, he looked like Prince Eric from
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid. I don't think like fucking him ever crossed my mind when I was 4, but obviously like it would have been good to know that like it's okay like if you have these feelings for someone of the same sex.
See, a lot there. It's a lot to unpack, baby. Y'all want this express and go shit.
Yeah, the black chick, she's a
you can't throw no shake and go wig on this shit.
She's a very successful YouTube channel.
Really?
The conservative black woman, Amala, I think her name is. Yeah. She's a very successful YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm not familiar with it. That was my first time seeing her. Anyway, yeah, Jubilee. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of the show like for the life of me. But thank y'all.
People, here's the thing. I'm sitting here shaking. Look, while the video's going and they took us down, I'm sitting here shaking my head. You guys have any idea how many times she's called me up talking about stuff that happens on Jubilee? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, the one time she needs to remember the name of that channel, blank.
I did.
The one time you bring up a Jubilee, we review a Jubilee video, you're like, I forget the name of it. I'm like, how? And then I saw it was Jubilee because I haven't seen these videos. We like for our reactions to be authentic,
right,
you know. So I didn't watch the Jubilee video, and so I was like, it's Jubilee.
It's authentic.
Right.
As many times as we talk about Jubilee.
What are your thoughts?
You can stop it.
Yeah, Ed, man, you can stop it. So anyway, like I was saying, what I think about it, I think that sexuality as a whole, I wish that we could not introduce our children to it until they reach a certain age. I say preteens. Mm-hmm. I say withhold any kind of sexuality of any kind at all, gay, straight, whatever, until they're in their preteens. So talk about 12, 13. Yeah. Then talk about it with them. However, because of the internet and
hypothetically speaking, let's say that happens. Let's say that's established. Let's say that we found a way to be able to remove all sexual influence, all sexuality, sexual expression, whatever the case may be, from children's media, and we was able to establish a system that allows children to be children until they become preteens and the hormones start developing and stuff like that. What do you then do if the child is still queer? What are you going to blame now? The devil? I did something wrong in the process because my child, and again, there was no influence. And I think that's going to be very impossible. That's like telling a child like myself who grew up in a heterosexual household that my mom and dad cannot hold hands around me, They cannot kiss each other. They cannot say, oh, baby, happy birthday, or baby, happy Valentine's Day, or baby, happy sweetest day, or baby, happy anniversary. What do you then say for children that go to weddings to see adults get married? So are we going to have, that's a lot of censoring there. That means being so intrusive to where it's like, as parents, oh, you can't even kiss in front of your kids. Don't do nothing in front of your kids, because what's happening in the home, right? Y'all talk about behind closed doors. There are children who see their parents interact with each other. There are children who know about sex by looking at their parents and hearing their parents. And why were you guys making all this noise? And why were you guys sweating last night? And why were you guys... But that's the thing, and somebody said it on Black Men Unfiltered's panel with all of the biological women on there, that this era that we live in, the information age, children are finding out things. They don't need your permission. They're figuring things out. All you can do is just simply give your children information and do all you can to help enhance their life, because children are learning. And y'all did say that y'all want the future generation to be smarter than you. Now they're in an era where they can possibly do that, and now you're feeling some type of way because it seems like your children are growing up too fast. This is what evolution looks like. This is what growth looks like. This is what the next level looks like.
Social media, you kind of don't, parents are stuck in a very difficult position because you don't have a choice. Those children are going to be introduced to it at a very young age because of it, you know. So I think that as parents, you have to adapt to the world around you, the environment around you, because the environment is not going to adapt to you. You have to adapt to the environment. So we have to come up with a game plan as to how we're going to manage, how we're going to navigate this, because it's coming to your kids regardless, whether we want it to or not.
Right.
You know, so that's the long and short of it. I don't think that schools should bring. I think parents should be in charge. The whole thing. Remember this big uproar about a transgender reading school stories to children.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I do believe that should be up to the parents, as it is right now. I think members of the LGBTQ community, the entire culture, they have to understand that the change is happening. It's happening. I understand that it's happening a lot slower than they would like it to.
Yeah.
But so did racism.
Exactly.
So they have to understand that change comes slowly. We're still human beings. And with each passing generation, it becomes more and more acceptable. So they just have to wait, just like Black people did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and like, if you're Black and homosexual or transgender, God have mercy on your twisted soul.
Wait, so we gotta wait.
I mean, good Lord, you're in for it.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying, baby? It's a hard, a difficult life.
I do want to get in here. So,
hold on. Sugar Bomb had a very good one. She says you can homeschool them. That's an option. Thank you, Sugar Bomb. See, she's not just a troll, people. Sugar Bomb is awesome. I love Sugar Bomb, by the way.
Right, and make your kids even more socially awkward. So when they go off into the world, they have no social skills, as if, like, you know, children are already losing their social skills as is because of social media. You put your kids in homeschool, like, granted, you know, I understand it's a tough position, but your kids are going to be showing up be socially awkward.
You think so?
Hell yeah, because you're removing your children away from the community. Like, your child has to go out into the world and try to find a way to exist in the world. You're literally setting your children up for failure by trying to separate them. Teach them how to love themselves and to stand strong in who they are and know who they are, so they can go in the world already early, having a strong foundation so that they don't have to be like some of their parents, girl, who had to learn this shit as an adult, or some of the parents who don't even know how to motherfucking grow and evolve. And and even me, I deal with social awkwardness because I was bullied growing up for being queer. There were times I would go over some of these dudes' house that I thought was my friend, and girl, oh, he can't stay here, girl. He can't stay the night. No. The parents already saw something in me that I didn't fully understand until I got older. Like, are we really having the conversations or no? That's why love and acceptance and inclusion is imperative. You want somebody to love on your ass and to care for your ass, and when it all falls down, be there with your ass, right? Then start giving that energy out so you can attract it to you.
Yeah, that's part of what being around other kids does. It teaches you how to communicate, how to socialize with other people.
I agree.
Not
honestly.
just with like, you know, your mom or your siblings. Like, you know, you take that away from them when you do that. So it's granted it's a tough job being a parent, but at the same time, like in trying to be protective, you have to remember part of your job is also giving your
and I ain't
your
choose to
children
be
the
gay.
tools
Y'all
they
chose to be a
need
parent.
to
Two
go
different
off
things,
into the
boo.
world and survive on their own. And taking away like their ability, like, you know, social skills and stuff like that. Like, and then what kind of adult you think they're gonna be when they do get off on their own?
See, I'm with you on that.
All kind of suckers.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that. Homeschool, I think homeschool has its place. It's definitely relevant. You know what I mean? But I think kids, from my observation anyway, I think the kids come out far more well-rounded and more prepared for life when they socialize around kids in like a public school environment. For example, you know what I mean? When they're around more human beings, there's diversity, different types of personalities that they're dealing with all the time and having to manage all the time. They actually learn that. They learn the social skills. I think they should learn relationship skills at home because that's not taught in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking back of relationship skills, like there was a very important point in that video that I'm pretty sure went over a lot of people's heads. The last transgender woman that was talking, when she said, I was in preschool when I had my first crush on a boy. She said, I was in preschool when I had my first crush on a boy.
How did she even remember that?
A trans woman, which means she was showing up in the world as a boy at the time. So she knew as a boy she liked other boys. And I think what is being interpreted as indoctrination, really what it's about is that number one, of course, letting kids know that homosexuals exist. And number two, it's more about people in the LGBT community don't just all of a sudden realize that they are same gender loving like once they get to be an adult. They realize this at some point in their childhood.
They're same gender loving.
You know, and for many of them, especially pre-social media, pre-internet era, movies and shows that show like same gender couples and stuff like that, pre all of that, like they didn't have any safe spaces to go to. All they knew is there's something about me that's different. And with the images they see on TV, it's a man and a woman in a romantic scene, and that's the fairy tale because they supposed to have kids. And you know, you grow up, especially for ones who grew up in a religious household, that you know you're not supposed to do that, but they know that something about them is different. That's how I'm supposed to feel. That's what I'm supposed to like. But yet I like something else. I feel something else. One of my line sisters, a lot of the gay friends and stuff that I know, I when I get an opportunity, I do ask a question like, when did you know? One of my line sisters, she is lesbian. And
no doubt.
My sisters, we asked a question, when did you know you were gay? She said, oh, I've always known. She was like, ever since preschool, I was always running behind the little girls, chasing behind the little girls, picking at the little girls. I got another friend who was gay, and he grew up in a heavily religious household. And I asked him, when did you know you were gay? He was like, well, once he, hit his teenage years, he started to notice he had an attraction for boys.
And so for boys, that's normally when it hits. When puberty hits a boy, It's like another switch. It's like, boing.
Right.
You want all the girls.
A story, MANDRELL. God damn. Anyway, so anyway, he said he tried to talk to his mom about it, and he sat her down and he was like, well, Mom, I think I like boys. And I asked her, I was like, well, what'd she say? He said she sat there for a minute. She got up, she walked out of the room. She came back, she put some holy water on his forehead. She told him, now go to sleep, and when you wake up, you don't feel like that no more. Didn't work.
Yeah, I think.
Long story short, it's what is being seen as trying to convert kids. It's not necessarily trying to convert children. It's more trying to get the children who already know that there's something different about them, that they're not alone. There are people who exist that are like them, and that there are spaces out there that and resources available for them to talk about it. But where I think the misinterpretation is just like you said, MANDRELL. It's got to be a slow process, but yet it's being thrown on people like bam, especially like you just all of a sudden bring.
But again, it's damaging other people's lives. It's damaging the lives of queer people. When I was on Black Men Unfiltered for that live, I asked the question. When we talked about transness, I said, okay, let's remove the surgical aspect aside. Let's remove the medicinal aspect aside. Let's remove the removing of anything, cutting off anything, adding anything, any sort of hormone therapy, whatever the case may be. How would you allow your trans child, hypothetically, to show up and exist in the world? Would you allow them to wear the clothes of the opposite sex? Or the sex that they feel that they are connected to? Because they can take the wig off. They can take the dress off. They can take the makeup off. They can take the fake pressed Lee nails off. They can take the heels and the shoes off. And do you know what I heard on there, girl? All I heard was no, no, no. Somebody said hell no. Somebody said I will beat it out of my son. So again, there aren't even safe spaces for queer children who know they're queer. We ain't talking about all these people that y'all believe it's a fad, it's a phase. Oh, girl, I'm trans. Girl, I'm trans because I want to fit it. I'm trans. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual trans people who know what's going on. Like you just said, that trans person said at a young age, they knew what was up. They didn't really know fully the societal aspect of it and how society thinks and what they think and view about it, but what the feeling was. They understood the feeling. But there was no space, and there aren't any spaces within the Black community at large for queer people. Y'all don't have those spaces. Y'all do not have them. And if so, where are these spaces? And you better not say church.
Like what is it, drag queen happy hour at school, and like all of a sudden have like a drag queen come up to
is it what now?
Drag queen
happy hour at school?
Story hour or something like that or whatever. Yeah, they doing it at schools. So like just throwing that on people is a lot. You kind of got to ease people into it.
How do you ease in people who don't want
and
to
that's
know
where
anything
parents,
about
you really
it?
do have to talk to your children. Like you do have to talk to your children. It is uncomfortable. You may not want to do it, but the bottom line is you have to. Like it's inevitable. You have to have the conversation. You have to talk to them. If you're and it's important that your children have they feel comfortable enough to come and talk to you. You know what I mean? Like that is important.
Like, can they?
Homeschooling ain't helping them none, because guess what? They're going to grow into adults and they're going to go off into this world.
Correct. Hello. Thank you.
And people who are very naive.
That's why I like Shushu and MANDRELL, because they do have moments of clarity, girl. I understand you're on Black Men Unfiltered, so you got to show some loyalty. But goddamn, can we get some?
They're trying to hide it from them. As far as like with the LGBT community, I would say this. Oh, and this is what I want to say too. Like having a conversation, because I think a lot of parents feel like having a conversation is encouraging their children to go out and do it, and it's not doing that. It's simply that's making them aware. aware
all
of
it
the
is
world
awareness.
around them.
Hello, thank you.
You know what I mean? While children are impressionable, I would say that children are impressionable. They are a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
Hello, hell yeah.
Children are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. So you can skim over the conversation. You can pretend like, oh, okay, you don't want it, to have a conversation. You can pretend like it just didn't happen, but children will notice. Children will notice this. They're a lot smarter than you think they are. So it's important to have that conversation. As far as like LGBTQ people, like my brother said, it's a slow rollout. You know what I'm saying? You got it's one step at a time. Okay, you can't just throw it on people and throw people out here. It may not be moving as fast as you want it to, but listen, force feed it down people's throat ain't the way. They just gonna throw it back up. So.
They can just
I got one last
the
video too.
way.
One last video.
That too.
By the world's most favorite transgender woman on the Breakfast Club, but I think it's a powerful message though. So admins, cue up video 5. So what you think, Mandrell?
Because people will not allow you to be, and I keep saying, the world is not going to see us. We keep asking for inclusion. And if you force feed anything on anyone, you make them hate. The gay community, my community, we are forcing, take us, see us, accept us, let us be with you. You don't need to get down with my lifestyle. That don't mean I can't be your neighbor. I can live next door to this nigga. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue. He probably don't season his food right anyway. I ain't got to go to his house for barbecue. But we can coexist in the same neighborhood if I stop trying to put my lifestyle to make him accept what I am. I don't ask him what he doing. My business ain't his business. His business ain't my business. But that ain't what we want.
You know why we could coexist? Because you like to laugh and talk shit. And at the end of the day, that's all everybody wants to do. If we can laugh and talk shit, we good. I don't give a fuck what you are or what you do.
We overly sensitive as a people.
At the end of the day, all we need to do is be able to laugh and talk shit.
Well, we gonna talk shit.
Yeah, but you can't talk. The thing is, you can't talk shit to the community because you're gonna piss somebody off.
No. You can talk shit to BubzDaGawd. I gave y'all permission, sir. Like I said, y'all have no excuse anymore. None. I'm here. Like I said, we can make this Laugh-A-Palooza. We can turn it into BET Comic View, bitch. We can do it all. Comedy Central, Mad TV, what you want? What you want?
So the thing is, what they're doing is the oversensitive stuff. With the oversensitive, you're forcing me to not be myself around you. You're forcing the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Between straight people and gay people and LGBTQ people, you know what I'm saying? You're forcing the awkwardness because I want to let you know me. Shu. I'm a shit talker. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna joke. I'm gonna talk shit. But
until
if I
y'all
can't
call
joke
bonus
with you,
holes
I don't have you in my
chest
circle.
feeders. Nah, it's a read. Y'all
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have go past humor.
Part of too, and I think like what Funky Diva said too in his commentary, he was like, you got to understand, he's a male, a black male, and a gay black male existing in society. So his guards, his defenses are already up. For many people in the LGBTQ community, their defenses are up because you got to think about it.
Yeah, I know why.
They've been teased, they've been bullied, they've been told this, they've been told that. So they're already on the defense because they already expect, to be ridiculed. They already expect to be, downplayed, all these things, because that's what they've been getting all their lives.
Right. Here's the thing.
It's, and as much as, people hate to say it, like if you come with a good energy, in most cases, more often than not, I mean, this has always been my experience, they come with positive energy.
Right. Here's the thing, though. I got a friend who's of the gay persuasion, right? Mm-hmm. This will answer your question, Sugar Bomb. First of all, Sugar Bomb, to answer your question, are we forcing heterosexuality? No. I'm talking about the awkwardness between the two, right?
Right, yeah.
So the thing is, what I do is I remove myself out of the situation. Like, my friend who is, gay, he came up to me and said, okay, I don't care. Cool. Whatever, man. Rock out. So, I asked him, like, why would you, he told me, like, that's it? Yeah. I don't care. We've been friends this long. So I was like, why would you think I would care or have a problem with it? He said, because I've heard you tell gay jokes. I'm like, yeah, but those are just jokes.
Right.
I was trying to get him to say that was just humor. Those are just jokes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually care that someone, ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
But so I get it.
Like
There's
jokes.
the
Jokey jokes.
they don't want to be
I know that.
ridiculed.
Now I know.
I get it, but there's a difference between
I don't
ridicule
want
and
to hear
humor.
nobody saying nothing
If a
about my
person
jokes. I don't want to hear
can't be
anything
funny
about my
around-
jokes.
can't
being too
take a
much.
joke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say we're gonna be friends. Like we can be work associates or whatever. I can work with y'all a little on day. Or whatever the case may
You know
be,
what?
but-
You can, but here's the thing: they have to know that you really don't mean them any harm. Like it has to be first. They have to feel like it's a space like where they're comfortable enough. Like, okay, he's cool. He's really cool with me and who I am. So, okay, all right. That's not necessarily like something you can just walk into off the bat because you really don't know who is cool with you being living the lifestyle you live and who is not.
Yeah,
because you don't know if it's honestly just a joke or if it's a dig, like they throwing shade at you.
They sure throw shade. I'm just gonna laugh at it because it's 9 times out of 10 when they throw shade, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I just laugh at it, and then it's crazy because that part screws them up. Like they're like, "You laughing? Yeah, that was funny."
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, that was funny. And JT says, "Mandrell offends me every time we talk. We're one conversation away from me canceling him." Well, JT, you're straight, so you can't cancel anybody.
Hey, yo.
Only the gay, only LGBTQ can do that.
Feel free to click the link and come on, share your thoughts.
Okay, now we move into the deliverance testimony service, moment of the service, okay? We're going to have the crowd come up and speak. We ain't going to listen to all of it because no shade. I ain't trying to do this all night. I put the link down there below. Trust me, I've watched this live multiple times. There is nothing that's going to be said that's like, oh my God, this is just new. I just want to we ought to hear how there are still people who are going to choose to believe their ignorances and their biases when it comes down to queer people. So let's listen.
On this topic, just make sure we trying to have a mature conversation here, y'all. So it's not about throwing shade or anything like that. It's just having
y'all like joking, so let's joke.
An open, respectful conversation. Y'all. So
open, respectful conversation. Listen, people, we said nothing here that offends anybody. If you're offended, so what? But
damn.
Honestly. So what? I mean, just come up here, state your case. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to curse at you. It's not that kind of conversation.
Right. Yeah.
We're honestly looking for just honest conversation. That's it.
Right. So like I said, like especially with the last point, the indoctrination of children, I think it's just the intention is it's a good intention, but the execution isn't landing well. That's all. He said to cancel Mandrell, send CashApp $1 per minute. Hey yo,
go ahead and do it. Support the platform, please.
Right.
Go ahead and do it. Support the platform.
I'm so done.
Yeah. CashApp $1. Support the platform.
Donation.
People are gonna review this video. You know that, right? Tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The thing is, and Sugar Bomb and I'm not sure what side of the fence you fall on. I can make assumptions based on some of the things you said in chat, but like Sugar Bomb, we're not saying that gay people are causing the problem. No, we're not. But because we're like, she would understand where the discomfort with society comes from when it comes to the LGBTQ community, and it's justified. I'll start off by saying that your anxiety, your fear, your discomfort, it is justified. Yes. You got some people out there who are real world-class turds for no good reason, bothering people who ain't bothering nobody else. But you want to tell, but they want to tell you that you're wrong. You're going to hell. First of all, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? And you ain't. Look how you treating this person who ain't bothered you. You telling them they're going to hell, but you're not for your behavior. I mean, come on.
Right.
So yeah, we understand, Sugar Bomb. So it's just
Sherwin Cordero, he said,
we mean no harm in the conversation. So
to have clear understanding. Those who are willing to listen and understand and learn that is heavy on the learn. I'm sorry. Yeah. Harold, and that's part of like what I want to. The reason why I was showing Funky Dineva's video too, when he was saying that you got to make people understand. Like, you got to help people understand. Like, if you're upset or like whatever the upset or the disdain is, you have to articulate that. And a lot of people aren't.
But queer people have done that. They've recorded evidence. They've recorded their life experience. They have it written in books, biographies. There are videos. There are documentaries. The information is there. It's getting to the point to where people are making the choice to not want to care about it. That's where it becomes an issue. And because they're choosing not to care about it, other people end up getting hurt because of that. And what these other people don't understand is that karma is a bitch, and it's coming for every single one of us. So the people who are queerphobic and all this type of stuff are going to gag when they finally manifest karmic debt, girl. But let's continue a bit further, y'all, because I'm getting hungry, baby. These munchies kicking in, and I don't know much more of this I can do. No shade.
Like, really articulating what their disdain is. But yeah.
Yeah. As long as you don't try to push on me, we're good. Yeah, but like I said, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me, I like to laugh and joke. I just like to enjoy life. I don't want to beef with anybody. I don't like to argue. You know what I mean? But if I tell the wrong joke and someone takes it the wrong way, and then they start cursing at me, I'm like, wait, what did I say that was so wrong? You know what you said. I'm like, I know what I said, but I don't understand what part of what I said got you so heated.
Right.
And then it just breaks down because they can't tell me what I said that got them so pissed off. And then I'm just like, you know what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out of the conversation. So I'm like, hey, you can't tell me what pissed you off, man. We got nothing to talk about.
Right. So I'd like to welcome to the panel,
that person
Corey,
told you what it was, and you chose to ignore it and be like, oh, well, I'm trying
to
what I said really pissed you off. They just told you what it was. You don't understand the reason why they would feel that way.
And also, if there's any member of the community who out there in the chat who'd like to come up and have the conversation with us, please do. This is how we learn. Because honestly, we can't tell you how to live your lifestyle. We're not members of it.
Right.
But the way we learn is if you guys were to engage in conversation with us and tell us, like, if we got something wrong here tonight, by all means, come up and share with us.
Right. Yeah.
Or not.
It's a tough Corey. All right, Corey, what you got for us?
Well, the alphabet community, they got to recruit, so it's kind of a hard life, no pun intended. Duty booty's kind of rough to find,
I don't care what somebody who puts marshmallows and macaroni and cheese has to say. I'm only listening to people who know how to cook and really put their foot in the food. If you putting blueberries in the green beans, if you putting goddamn black licorice inside of the greens, there's nothing for us to talk about. So my thing is, him as a white person, I really could care less about your conversation, because this is Black Men Unfiltered, and I'm having conversations with black people about black issues, sir. So you can feel how you want to feel about the alphabet community. And no shade, the way that he looked like one of them individuals that as soon as my ass was to download Jack the Grinder, he'd be asking me for a picture of my big black delicious cock. So let's not play these games.
Dried up cornfield out there. But
dried up cornfield out there, huh?
Nobody laughing, girl.
But anyway, no, really, I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up on the West Coast, so there was they didn't call them the alphabet community back then, but it's not politically correct to call them what we called them back then, or they even called themselves. Mm-hmm. We live in a different world.
Yeah, we damn sure.
But you know, there was naked hippies walking around, and there was a big difference between men and women. And you know, I mean, the women were pretty attractive. So you know, I mean, some of them did need to shave. I'll tell you that. But you know, that's what you get when you're around a bunch of hippies. But they didn't all look like that. But I tell you, they all smelt like coconut tanning oil. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, you know, I mean, when it comes to the alphabet community, it just is what it is. But just like people don't,
but y'all don't know what it is, though.
Religion pushed down their throat. They need to take their own advice.
First, pause.
You know, well, you know what I mean. Nobody likes to be, you know, basically subjected to somebody else's. What do you call it? Yeah. All right. Hey, did you find them skinny jeans yet? I ain't never heard anybody spend $600 on a pair of skinny jeans.
I don't wear skinny jeans.
Shoo. You know where they're at, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't wear skinny jeans. No, I don't wear skinny jeans. I don't have the body shape for that. There's too much muscle. There's too much muscle on the frame, dude. I would look ridiculous in skinny jeans.
I'm just kidding. I'll share the panel. Come on.
I know.
There you go.
They were Corey.
Thank you, Corey. Yusuf, you were at the. You came up next. What are your
Yusuf?
That's funny. Yusuf? You start maybe Kim Mandrew. That's hilarious to me.
He said coconut oil. Damn.
This is one. I mean, this is a hard one to touch. No pun intended.
Now, shout out. This individual was the only individual who, on the panel, who was heterosexual, cisgendered, who was able to understand the plight of queer people without it having to be arithma-fucking-tick. You know what I mean? Just very simply understanding, knowing what's going on. Just, you know, very much that. You feel me? Let's listen to his response, and then I'm going to end it off of that, because afterwards, people just let what he said just go in one ear and out the other.
Because it's you got the religious folks, you got the scientific folks, you got people in the middle, and I agree with Mandrell in that, in my opinion, and I've had arguments with other people who are of a religious faith, be it Muslim or Christians, typically those two, and their reasoning and rationale behind why they feel, how they feel about homosexuals, and they'll point to a certain scripture in the Quran or certain scripture in the Bible and say, well, this is the reason why we don't like it, we don't condone it, because it spreads like a virus, right? You just somehow you become gay, which it's impople. And I think every man,
you can't catch it.
You can't catch gay.
Let these niggas tell it, girl.
They're convinced that you can't.
There's no
They're convinced that you can somehow, but when I grew up, when puberty hits, especially for a boy, every man knows at that time for sure if you prefer to be in the women's locker room or the boys' locker room. There's no ambiguity in it. There's no, I'm confused. You know, dang, I really want to be in a girls' locker room. Or you have certain guys that kind of like, you can tell they enjoyed it a little too much. And that's around the time you kind of figure out, damn, this is the way it is. So these people didn't have any child abuse in it growing up. They'll tell me, oh, this is just what I've always liked. I like playing with Barbie dolls. I looked at Ken, I was like, ew, Ken, I want to play with Barbie. And this is just the way it is. I grew up with a gay best friend before you even knew what gay was. And, you called him special because you didn't know what that was, or why is this boy acting like a girl? But this is the way it was. Was he abused as a child? Who knows? But does that play any role into sexual orientation later in life? I doubt it, because I also have a good friend who was assaulted by a man when he was a boy, but he is as straight as they come. He's had more women than I had in my life.
Hello.
So it's not as black and white as this is bad, this is evil. And particularly when it comes to the religious aspect to it, in my personal opinion, I'm just being completely honest, I believe that a lot of them hide behind what they read in a holy text, again, be it Quran or the Bible, and they'll justify their homophobic, genuine feelings behind well, because it says this in this particular scripture, and let me point this out to you. And they'll say, well, no, it's okay that they feel that way towards another man or a woman towards another woman. You can feel that way, you just can't act on it. But that makes no sense, because you can't tell me as a straight man, I can't feel attracted to a woman and not have desires to be intimate with a woman. That's impossible. So now you're promoting sexual repression, and it's veiled under the guise of it'll save your soul in the end. Or if you don't get yourself together, and if you choose to act on those desires, then you're going to pay the consequences. They might not be very explicit in telling you this is the price you're going to pay. Basically, you're going to go to hell. But they'll insinuate this is, does God really, is he going to save your soul because you're choosing to do this? Like it's a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle. I don't choose to be attracted to a woman. MANDRELL doesn't choose to be attracted to a woman. No one chooses their sexual orientation. It's an automatic, it's as natural to me as it is breathing. I can't think, I think I like this girl. It's a girl, I'm instantly attracted to her. It's just immediate. So if that's the way I feel about women, then logic tells me that that's how gay men feel about gay men, or gay women feel about other women. That's something they can't control. You'll see a lot of them try to hide it and try to mask it and try to fit into society, which is why I think they turn to transgenders is like a stepping stone. They can't really be seen in public with the same sex, so they'll be out in public with someone who looks like the opposite sex to satisfy their natural orientation. So it's complex, it's difficult. A lot of people don't like to touch it, but I think it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you for that.
L'chaim.
Mazel tov.
There you go. Mazel
tov. Ikene. I'm sorry. I say his name wrong.
So do you not see how when he just perfectly explained it as a cis hetero man, he was able to affirm heterosexuality, to say that it exists, but it's not the only thing that exists, and uses actual logic to be able to break it down to where it's palatable. And meanwhile, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, thank you. We don't. Excuse me. Y'all not ready for the conversations. Y'all not ready for it. Stop acting like y'all ready for the conversation. This is going to be the meeting of the minds, the meeting of intellects. In order for you to be an intellect, especially if you're speaking on something intellectually, which means you have to have knowledge about it. And you're truly intellectual when you are objective, which means you look at the totality of it and base off of what has been presented in reference to why people support queerphobia in a covert way, not an overt, even though they want it to be overt. Y'all don't have the proof to back it up. Meanwhile, queer people have receipt after receipt after video showing everything, and it's still not enough. Well, BubzDaGawd is here, and I'm not the savior to this shit. I don't have all the answers to this shit, but I do have more answers than a lot of queerphobic people, so I'm going to share that. And if that means I have to continuously do lives on black networks and black content creators that speak ill about queer people without any context, nuance, or facts, and just seeing it from a religious, low vibrational, narcissistic, egotistical, patriarchal perspective, the militant midget known as BubzDaGawd will be giving commentary. And the one thing that's magical about me, girl, is that even though my channel is small, whoever I tag, girl, they watch and they feel what I'm saying. No tea, no shade, just facts. If you want to watch the rest of the live in its entirety to hear, I think somebody old drunk ass grandpappy, hell no, to the no, Deacon comes on and tries to tell his experience with some comedic relief not really heavy on the comedic and definitely not heavy on the relief part of it. People still sharing their queerphobic thoughts. It's not anything new. But if you want to see it for yourself, you can definitely click the link down below. Anyway, thank y'all so much for rocking with me for Monday Madness of what is the gay agenda through the lens of heterosexual people, girl. And if we look down history, they're not saying anything different, girl. It's the same bullshit, girl. The same bullshit. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this live. Shout out to Deshaun, okay, in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to, I think Ron was here. Was it Ron? No, Style by Stevie. Shout out to Style by Stevie. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to Queen Amber. Make sure y'all send love her way, please. Thank you and thank you. Shout out to Boy Crazy. Shout out to Donna B, who was in the building. Shout out to those who were in the replay gang. Shout out to those who are in the bushes. And yeah. Until next time, everybody, peace.
Love never dies, just choose to be born again.
That vibe would never leave you, nor forsake you.
So that vibe.